We ready? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's 3 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. All right, if we can all stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since we do have a full house, I will ask for you guys to take the time to silence your phones. And we'll go ahead and have roll call. So in attendance, we have Bob, Doug, myself, Ed, and Carol. And I need a motion to approval of the final agenda.
I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. So local achievements and recognition. So we do you have anything else or can I start with this?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, so in attendance, we have some of the students from Gateway Charter School and the Gateway Elementary. And we'll go ahead and this time we'll read individual because we have 3. And then we'll do the pictures after all together so we don't have to get up. Back and up and down. Okay. So the first one we have Abigail Conroy, 8th grade, Gateway Charter Upper. On behalf of the Gateway Services Community Development District Board of Supervisors, we proudly recognize Abigail, an 8th grader at the Gateway Charter High School. As a member of the Gifted Program, she's a strong mind with her enrollment in multiple high school level courses, positioning her for continued success. Abigail's dedication extends to their leadership in the 3 schools organizations. As a president of the Builders Club, she motivates her peers and successfully leads initiatives, including in planning the execution of the school's banquets. As a member of the National Junior Honor Society, she contributes to meaningful community efforts such as the NEMI Walk, is that what it is? Many Walk, okay. Through the theater club, her positive spirit encouraged fellow students to step into the stage and fully engaged in performances. Abigail is a truly example of a strong mind and good heart. So a big round of applause for Abigail. All right, so I'll give you the second one. I don't know, I have my glasses. I did pretty good.
Next one, Chloe Beecher, 5th grade, Gateway Charter Lower School. What does lower mean? I've never understood that.
So I think from 6th to up to 6th grade is lower school. Yeah, and then yeah. It's the floor, right? It's literally the floor. So they stay on the 2nd floor and
That's what I was thinking. Okay. On behalf of the Gateway Service and Community Development District Board of Supervisors, we proudly recognize Chloe as an outstanding 5th grader at Gateway Charter Elementary. As an exceptional house leader of Amistad, she exemplifies the value of friendship by consistently supporting her peers, uplifting those in need, and leading with compassion and integrity. Chloe also serves as a peer tutor during Success Block, dedicating her time to helping classmates grow academically and build confidence. Her leadership extends beyond the classroom, where she is a recognized leader at ILT Dance, demonstrating excellence, discipline, and teamwork. Chloe embodies the promise of strong minds, good hearts, and demonstrates the values of purpose, passion, integrity, and grit. Her positive influence is truly commendable. Round of applause.
Is Vera here? Vera? Hey, Vera.
Oh, you
Okay.
come all the way here, yes.
Okay, let's read Vera's.
We got what?
Vera.
Okay. Our last student, Vera Tyler, 4th grade, Gateway Elementary. On behalf of the Gateway Services Community Development District Board of Supervisors, we are honored to recognize Vera Tyler as a 4th grader at Gateway Elementary for her exceptional character and unwavering determination. Vera exemplifies resilience, compassion, and a strong commitment to excellence. Her positive attitude and generous spirit uplift those around her, while her perseverance enables her to overcome challenges with confidence. Upon returning to school, Vera demonstrated remarkable independence and refused to let obstacles hinder her progress. Her optimism and determination are truly inspiring. Academically, she has achieved outstanding success this year, earning all A's and B's. Fantastic.
Good.
Testament to her dedication and strong work ethic. Sarah stands as a shining example of perseverance, strength, and achievement, and her journey inspires us all.
Give all of our students. All right, let's start with, who's first, Flavia? We'll move this table back. So we can...
Abigail?
All right, who's up first?
Abigail.
Abigail. Abigail, let's take some pictures.
Where are we going?
Right here. Oh, wow.
I think it's all down there.
All right.
I want to get with Abigail?
It's like a family.
Family.
You think they want us in?
Good job. All right, next we have
Farah?
Vera.
Oh, do I get a position? Do you want to come in? Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you want to close out.
Fam, where do you want to go?
Oh, yeah. Here, let me take your phone. I got you.
Oh, thanks, Sarah.
Of course.
Big smile, too.
Here real quick. Awesome.
All right, last but not least. Chloe.
Yeah, let it be in your picture forever, you know, picture of myself.
Good job.
It's a great idea.
Yes. If anyone has any public comment that they would like to do, we'll just need you to fill out a slip and turn this in to us. Okay.
Okay, so I was gonna use my big boy.
Oh,
So
sorry.
you got it. So if anyone would like to speak in any topic in the agenda or outside of the agenda, we ask that you do go into the little podium and fill up the little card with your name and information and the topic, and you'll be allowed at 3 minutes. Nobody else? Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll start with public comments. Before the ones here, do we have anyone online that has sent us anything that would like to read?
Nope.
No, perfect. Okay, so we start with the ones in-house.
I have 2 agenda and the rest are non-agenda or agenda leaning, so. The first one is Tim Miller. It's regarding the budget, parking and field rental rates, so that'd be item 11A. Just a reminder, when you get up to the podium, please just announce your name for the record. This microphone is
close the
awesome.
door.
It picks up really well.
No, thank you, yeah, otherwise it'd be a
then,
closed door meeting.
And then you have 3 minutes. The timer's up here. It'll blink green, yellow, and then red when you're done. And I won't start until after you announce your name.
And then I will ask the board not to engage in questions until he's done, so he can have his whole full 3 minutes.
Did I get passed out to everyone? Okay, my name is Tim Miller.
Kim, excuse me, don't start.
Don't start
till
till
we got
everybody
it.
gets it. I didn't start your timer yet.
I want to make
either,
notes
so.
or something. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Tim Miller, Gateway Flag Football. Good afternoon. If you turn to page 2 of my handout, you'll see the official financial reports provided by the district in an email. Last night, and actually today, it's been stated that the facility expenses at Sherman Soccer Complex run $574,000 annually. But if you look at those internal records in that email, the 5-year average is $272,000. And that actually includes 2 years of major hurricanes, 23 and 25. Historically, the revenue has covered 37% of the cost, and that's actually a number I want to pause on, because I've heard in some of your meetings, the board expressed concerns that the fields have been mismanaged for years, and that might be true regarding long-term planning for capital reserves, but the data actually shows the board's done an excellent job managing the operating ratio of this facility. The national median for cost for this kind of facility for Parks and Rec is 24.6%. So at 37%, historical average, and currently for this year, 63%. I know those numbers aren't finished, but Gateway is actually performing at a very high level compared to other locations. So you've actually built a physically responsible foundation that matches professional standards. So because of that, I don't feel like you need a radical 100% rate hike on the fields to fix the system that's actually already better than the national average. To put that in perspective, the National Recreation and Park Association median is, like I said, 24.6%. A well-managed district targets about 34%, and Gateway's already nearly performing over 50% of the national standard. You'll notice in my first page of the handout, it talks about pyramid pricing for sports because communities of the community benefit that they provide. So if you move us above that 25 to 50% tier, which is what youth sports typically targeted, you're moving into a profit-seeking tier, and that is not typically how you would look at youth sports and evaluate those. So we're really already where we should be according to national standards and your standards. I do hear the concerns about non-resident participation. If you look at the math, the funding gap costs the average Gateway household between $17 and $41 per year in taxes. So instead of a $2 an hour parking tax that punishes families, especially families that have multiple kids, I propose that you put a $20 per season non-resident parking waiver in place so they could purchase a waiver once and cap that, that fee. If there's somebody's playing 2 seasons, that would be $40, and that would be the same amount a Gateway resident is paying in taxes towards the fields. I also would like to protect the workforce by making referees and volunteer coaches exempt. Charging someone for parking when they come to work is
It's time.
unfair. That's it.
All right, thank you, Tim. All right, who do we have next?
All right, I'm Mark Allison, same topic.
Tim, Tim. Miller. Hi, Mark.
Note your name for the record, please.
Okay. My name is Mark Allison. I'm with Gateway Soccer. And I'm here today on behalf of the families, volunteers, coaches, and children involved in our local youth sports program. Firstly, I'd like to say clearly that we understand maintaining athletic fields is not free. We appreciate the work that goes into keeping these facilities safe, playable, and available for the community. We're not asking the county to absorb all the cost indefinitely. We understand inflation and operational expenses are real. But what we are asking for today is transparency, accountability, and fairness before imposing a proposed 100% increase in field rental fields on youth sports organizations. Right now, we're being told the fields cost approximately $500,000 a year to maintain. Yet the organizations expect to pay these dramatically higher fees have not been given a detailed breakdown explaining exactly what is included in that number. When we reviewed the 2026 budget, several concerns stood out. First of all, payroll expenses appear to be doubling. Why? What positions are being added? Are these direct field maintenance employees, administrative staff, or unrelated personnel costs? Before youth programs are asked to shoulder massive fee increases, the public deserves a clear explanation. Second, there is a new $55,000 contract for parking security monitoring. However, families are now also paying for new parking fees to use these facilities. If parking fees are already being collected from the public, then those revenues should reasonably help offset the cost of parking security and related operations. Youth sports organizations should not be charged twice for the same service through both parking fees and a dramatically increased field rental. Thirdly, landscape costs are also increasing by approximately $60,000, along with $20,000 for irrigation. Yet these line items did not even exist in the 2024 budget. Were these services previously included elsewhere, or are we seeing an expanded service, deferred maintenance, or simply reclassification of an expense? Again, no one really knows because the details have not been provided. And finally, there is an additional $200,000 in capital projects. What projects? Are these improvements, repairs, future developments, or long-term upgrades? If youth organizations are expected to help fund them, then those organizations deserve transparency regarding exactly what they are paying for. Another major concern is the apparent effort to penalize non-gateway residents for using these fields. Youth sports should be bringing communities together, not dividing families based on zip codes. And the reality is the proposal will not only impact non-gateway residents, but gateway families themselves will also face these higher costs because the league operating these programs will still have to absorb dramatically increased expense overall. The result is simple. Registration fees will rise for everyone. That means gateway residents and the families the policy is supposedly designed to protect will also pay more for their children to participate. In the end, this becomes less about residency and more about making youth sports less affordable across the board. The matter becomes the youth sports are not luxury programs. These leagues are built for volunteers, families, and they're already struggling with rising costs of housing, insurance, groceries, and transportation. A 100% fee does not happen in a vacuum. It will ultimately fall on parents and children. Some families will still no longer be able to participate.
That's your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Who's the next person?
I'm sorry if I butcher anybody's name. Some of your handwriting isn't the greatest. So Arlene Kalstrin. It's regarding the cost of increase of the Sherman soccer field.
I'm here as a grandparent that grandchildren.
You can announce your name for the record, please.
Arlene Kellstrom.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm here as a grandparent that goes to see my children at soccer. Mr. Banks was one of my grandchildren's soccer coaches, and I am very disturbed about the fact that Gateway seems to be becoming more about the older population and not about the children. The soccer field is for the children. We pay their taxes because of that. It's in our CDD. I don't understand how these big costs, where non-revenue costs don't come from the commons, the linear park, the new thing that you're building over there with your offices, but you want everybody to pay here in the soccer field. All that stuff is for adults, even the pool. I do believe that this is a family community, and I believe that our community should start thinking about the children. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen.
All right. Next is Eddie. Is it Parisi? League fees and parking fees. State your name for the record, please.
Eddie Parisi. Yeah, you heard it from Mark, you heard it from Tim, you heard it from a resident parent. I'm also a resident, I'm a coach, and I'm a parent. I have 2 children, and you guys are forgetting what it's all about, man. It's all about the children, develop them, the safety, their well-being. This is the perfect park over here at Gateway Sherman Park over here. I've been here for 4 years, 4+ years. You know, my kids play soccer and football with both these gentlemen. My 2 kids played 2 seasons of soccer, 4 seasons of flag football over here. It's the safest park. I enjoy coming here. I always keep my same teams going and playing for Tim Miller. And all those parents say the same thing. They brought me here. It's so easy for our kids to go wander. You feel secure. They can go there. Everybody knows each other. And it's horrible to hear that, you know, you want to raise fees, charge for parking. When have any of you at our age or our kids' age paid for parking to go get developed, trained, play a sport that you love? None of you paid that. None of you. So this is just absurd. It's ridiculous. You're going to scare 40%, 50% away from both these gentlemen, the organizations they built. It's just like, I don't see it, man. We do it all for our kids. They're there for us. You know, you guys, I'm sitting here in the meeting for the past hour and a half, listening to you guys. It seems like you're more concerned about dog parks, saving money for dogs instead of your own children. That's absurd, man. Like, I just don't get it. I've been here, you know, I speak on the pub with all the families and friends that I've enjoyed, but you're going to force me out. You know, I just moved over here. I lived in Fort Myers for a while. I just moved over here in Stony Brook. You know, I pay my taxes just like anybody else here. But to hear what you guys want to do and charge for parking, there's other ways. You know, you talking about a concession stand. I'm there 5-6 days a week at this park. 5-6 days a week. You know how much that's going to cost me? And that concession stand has not once been open. I've come here 4 years, I haven't seen it open. It's a little ice cream stand that's there every once in a while that I guess you guys booted out of there. There's a line going down the field for someone to buy ices. Can you imagine if you had that concession stand open, how much revenue you would generate from there? You know, look at all these budgets. See where you can cut costs. You know, salaries can be cut costs. You know, employment. You don't need half those jobs that you're showing up there. I deal with numbers every day. You know, look at the other end. Don't take things away from the children that we have and the people that we're developing. You know, it's all about them. Remember that. That's all I got to say.
All right, thank you. What else do we have? What was his name?
Eddie.
Eddie Parisi. And me? Regarding the new apartment complex by the bank. Different topic.
Okay.
You can just state your name for the record, please.
My name is Wendy Denny. I live in Waterford Village, and I know you have nothing to do with the apartment complex that is starting to be built. What I'm here to ask for is they have annihilated all the wilderness space that was there, all the trees and stuff. We can all see, it wasn't landscaping, it was, preserve. And we can all see 7-Eleven now from the entrance to our neighborhood. We're getting dust from them putting the sand and the dirt down, and I know they've got to do that, and I know it's temporary. What we would like to see is there are no trees left on Devonshire Lakes Boulevard coming into the plan for Waterford Village and Devonshire Lakes between Captiva Bank and the start of our neighborhood, which is gateway space. There's 10 feet of space, and we would ask maybe if you could plant some trees now so that when the apartment buildings do go up, there's something blocking our view of that from them. The plans that I have seen don't really show any wall going up to block their garages and stuff like that from our view. We'd just like some trees or some really tall bushes to make our neighborhood stay looking like it's a lovely green area. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. What was her name? Wendy. Wendy.
All right, next up, Victor Spanovic regarding soccer. State record, please.
Victor Spanovic. Good afternoon. I've been a soccer coach here for the last 8 straight seasons. That makes me one of the longest, if not the longest, serving coaches here. This league teaches kids valuable life lessons, it builds friendships, and it keeps our kids healthy and away from video games. In short, it helps build the kind of adults that we want to have here in the future. I've coached well over 100 kids, and I can tell you that I've already lost some players due to prior price increases. If you go ahead with this price increase, you'll probably see about 20% of the children in this league stop playing soccer. Would you personally go up to 1/5 of these kids and tell them that they can no longer play in this league? I don't think you would. I'm sure you wouldn't. But it's easy to make these decisions when you're behind a desk, when you're not confronted with the consequences of your actions. Furthermore, if you start charging for parking, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have people parking off-site and walking or biking to the fields. You're going to have people crossing the busy road, and people are definitely going to be hurt. Now, the point I want to make is this. I'm not even going to get into the fact that your rates have risen far more than anything else in recent years, or that they have vastly outpaced inflation and are way out of line with nearby localities. That in and of itself is very suspicious. Personally, I'd love to see those contracts and be able to follow the money, but that's not the point I'm here to make. The point I want to make is that anybody can solve a problem by throwing other people's money at it. My 10-year-old son can solve a problem that way. But if you want to justify your existence on this board, and if you want to justify any salary that you may receive, your job is to find solutions that actually benefit the people of this community. That's what you're here for. If your problem-solving skills amount to little more than charge everyone more money, you don't belong here. You're not doing your job. You got to do better. And unfortunately, hundreds of families who have made this league part of their Saturday tradition are going to pay the price for this ineptitude. Each one of you needs to go home, find a solution, and show us that you can manage funds in a much better way than what we've seen in the past few years. Thank you.
Thank you. What else do we have?
The last two are about FPL and the
Good afternoon. I'm Terry Nelson from Hampton Park. I know I've been approached a little bit about the issue of the FPNL power lines that are going to be expanded in the easement area that are literally going to involve clear cutting the woods alongside Linear Park. That's what they're planning to do. And we've got little to no notice of this. And obviously this is a huge effect on people's property values. So I'm here to ask, hopefully nicely, that Gateway does everything it can to help us mitigate the effects of this. Save as many of the trees as possible. Continue to have a tree line between the Linear Park and Hampton Park and the other neighborhoods that are affected. And hopefully Linear Park itself. We were led to believe that these woods were a preserve when we bought our house. And the language of the Linear Park and the money that's being spent on the Linear Park also led me to believe that this was a preserve, that we're going to keep this as a preserve for this park. We never dreamed that the woods next to our house were going to be clear-cutted. And this is the plan. And we've talked, my wife and I have talked with FPNL representatives about what they're planning to do. They've already marked trees that are 7 inches in diameter with red paint out there, hundreds of trees. Why did they mark them? They're going to cut them. And they're within 10 feet of our property line, some of them. So this is a huge issue, and we can't drop the ball here. We really can't. We need to get FPNL out here. We need you all to ask them to come out here to give us a presentation to talk about how wide this has to be, how much of the trees can be saved. They're supposedly going to provide an arborist that we can walk with, and I'm asking you, hopefully nicely, that we can have as much activity from you all to do this, because again, our property values are at stake here, and you know, we need to do what we can. I noticed your sign, maintaining Gateway's position as a premier community of choice. That means this is a huge issue for everybody up and down the roads. It's not just contiguous to the woods. It's seeing these huge power lines from blocks away. So it's a big deal, and we hope you'll take it seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our last one is Teresa Nelson, same topic.
Hello, my name is Teresa Nelson, and I too live in Hampton Park. I think this room would be full if more people knew about this issue. As you know, I was here April 2nd at the board meeting to talk about this issue. And we received a letter in March. So we're now in May coming into this. And just the other day, I went to the Parks and Rec Committee meeting to talk to them, and they had heard nothing about this, yet they are tasked with making Linear Park nicer. Well, this project from FPL is moving along, whether we like it or not, with or without Gateway's involvement. Tiffany Turner is our contact person, and she left us a phone message last Friday that environmental workers were coming to the area to work on a bat survey. She also stated that she would keep us informed of the survey and staking timeline. They meet every Wednesday on this project. Well, Tuesday I was biking the trail, and there were 3 trucks from Adura employees in Tampa that I happened to be talking to, and they said they were here for the week, marking trees all the way from the Orange River to Immokalee. They did mention the bats, but they also said anything over 7 inches was more than likely going to get taken out. They were very professional. They knew little else of the project. And now, if you walk along that trail, you'll see orange paint on hundreds of trees. So get ready. And if you use this trail, like I've seen hundreds of people do, that berm of trees is a lifeline with shade, a habitat for wildlife and birds. Our Common Center is even going to be making new paths to put people out on this trail that we all think is an amenity. Well, our linear park is going to become a linear field pretty quick if we don't deal with this. Green space is so much of a commodity now. This is Gateway's one chance of getting this right, or at least the best we can. When I'm on that trail and chat with people, they're devastated when they hear what's coming. I can only imagine the shock once this 2-mile project begins. The trucks, lights, everything. This is a community issue, and our government needs to do everything it can now to help this project be carefully proceed. We're trying to make sure with Tiffany that this is possible. So my question is, can Gateway offer or agree to keep trees at a certain height if we will deal with it rather than the bulldozer come in and just take them all out? FPL, their 10-year plan here, they have a chapter on environmental sensitivity and videos. I've done a lot of research. They're talking about directional pruning. They say they want to be more sensitive, and if we have that option, we definitely have to wave some flags here. So I'm hoping that our Gateway community cares enough with 10,000 people here that we might have a little sway in what's going to happen, because it's going to happen. This is our one chance.
Thank you. One more.
All right, I do have one more, Sam McDowell, regarding parking fees. You just announce your name for the record, please.
Yes, of course. My name's Sam McDowell. Hey, board. Sorry for my late submission. This is my first time being here. I am actually not a Gateway resident. I work at Gateway Church right across the street. I'm the associate pastor there. So I'm here to sort of support Mark because I'm also a Gateway soccer coach. Both my boys play in the league. My daughter is now wanting to play soccer, so she's joining too, which is exciting. But I'm sort of coming with two different directions. One, I oversee the annual Gateway Jingle Jog that we do every year, the first Saturday of December. It's been wildly successful. We utilize the parking spots at Gateway Elementary as well as the Gateway soccer fields. First year we had 340 racers. This last year we had 670. That's an amazing event, but we always use the parking. And so I'm thinking parking fees potentially for those kind of events as well that I think could have a negative effect. And then I'm also here to represent potentially the family that doesn't live in Gateway and to say I would totally be fine if Mark was to charge my family $20 or $30 a person in my family to pay and cover that fee so that Gateway families didn't necessarily have to pay that because they're already paying into it. And so I just want to present a different alternative. I do think it's going to be detrimental for families to pay, I think what I heard was $2 an hour or something like that. Throughout a season, that's going to be pretty brutal. And we all know it is so expensive to live right now. And that's the last thing that young families need. I think a lot of families will choose not to put their kids in sports, and that gives them more time at home. I know you said video games. That's going to be the alternative. Parents are trying to figure out how to get their kids out. This would be taking away an opportunity. So thank you so much for your time and for getting me in last minute.
Thank you. All right. So nothing else? All right, so at this time, I would like to take a moment to kind of go over a few answers to some of the comments that we did receive. So if we can just raise our hands for who is in here, who is a Gateway resident? So we have the majority of the Gateway residents. Okay, so the first item that I'll start is, you know, when Tim brought it up that 37.2% is what we're cost recovering. What we have to make sure that we're clear is that is a higher number that is getting cost recovered by Gateway residents. So there is a higher usage and a higher payment made by Gateway residents. So I think that's really important for us to look at that. Another area that we talked about was the increases, you know, on salaries and staffs. Yes, you're going to see that because we brought a lot of items in-house. So a lot of the things that were getting done by vendors, they were reclassified for in-house. So there's a decrease on the vendor and those operating costs, but then you're going to see an increase on salaries. We also did get reclassification in some areas of sod. We wanted it to, a few years back, kind of break it out and see exactly how much is it getting spent at soccer field, how much is it getting spent at the dog park. And the only way to do that, it was kind of working with the agenda and budget and reclassifying those things. So you are going to see an increase in some of those light items, while in the back end, there are decreases in contracts and other items. I know this is a question that I had for Eileen, and really, to me, is we need to come up with the money. That's it. We need to come up. How do we come up with the money? And to me, it's I love seeing the room full here. I wish the room was full like this prior to us implementing the parking, because then it kind of really opens the dialogue, and it comes instead of 5 ideas, it's all of these ideas mixed together. You know what I mean? And come up with a solution. But that train has passed. So parking, it's something that has approved. It's going to the motion for the fall, but since the majority of the residents are here, our Gateway, will you support an increase on your non-ad valorem taxes to cover all of the expenses of the soccer fields for those children? So that's the question that you have to do it, because it's not, so it's who is going to pay for it? Are we, because all of us live in Gateway, right? Are we going to support it, and do we have enough money in our own budget and in our own household to support that when budget comes and say, hey, there's an increase because we couldn't, we wanted to be sensitive to the kids, to the families, regardless if they're outside or not. We wanted to be supportive. So am I going to see a room full of people when budget comes and there's a huge increase because we didn't increase the fee schedule? So the money has to come from somewhere. We as the board are trying to alleviate the money coming from Gateway residents during your non-ad valorem taxes, right? We're trying to make it because you already pay for it regardless if you use it. The majority of the people in Gateway are not using the soccer fields, but they're paying for it. So the majority of the people here are Gateway residents. So let's put that thinking cap on. Am I willing to pay more regardless if I use it or not? Or maybe because my grandson on this season is doing it, because it's going to be long term. It's not like I'm willing to pay more for the next 3 years until my grandkids are gone, and then I'm going to come and fight it not to do it. So we really have to think about this long term and short term. We need to come up with the money. How we come up with the money, it's when we have a room like this and we're open for dialogue and discussions, not after a decision is made by the board. I think that's really, really important. So that's a question that really is not for Eileen, but it's for all of you that do live here in Gateway. Can I pick up the tab where there's a lack? Can I continue to subsidize it? And what is your max? What are you willing to subsidize? Because if I'm not going to have this increase passed on to the leagues, that increase is going to go directly to you. So what are you willing? So those are questions for you. Another thing that I had so this is for Wendy. Wendy, let me see. All right, Wendy. Just FYI, I would absolutely follow up with your code enforcement regarding the dust, because they are to have a water tank, so they can do that. I think the development order, it is the last item that they bring, the landscaping development order. I would have partnered with Lee County. I'm pretty sure you can reach out to Chelsea and she can give you that. I think Jennifer oversees it. It's the last thing, but you could ask them to do mitigations and things like that to plant additional items. So I would start with the builder and the county and making sure, because I personally fought this, being at Magnolia Lakes and having the high school there. I was getting 0 plantings, and by the time I was done, I think I got over 400 oak trees. So there's a way. It's a lot of work, but that's the path that I want to guide you into.
I don't think they've touched preserve.
They did not touch preserve, and a lot of people, preserves, areas that are unmaintained, we tend to call them preserves. So majority of that cleanup, and I can tell you, exotics that have to be removed, they don't have to be removed once the job does not start. So you can have a bunch of Brazilian peppers and everything else. Once you start doing something, then you are obligated to remove those, and beauty is on the eye of who looks at it. I think they're pretty, but you have to remove it. So if you want a route, that's the route that I would take for county.
With Wendy, real quick, I have met with some of your neighbors, and we have a path forward. So please get in touch with your HOA president on both sides, because we just met with them last week.
Okay. All right. And then hedges, I guess the hedges, that's what you were asking for. My God, I'm trying to go by my notes. So, valve, infrastructure, okay, FPL. Okay, FPL. We'll talk about FPL back there. All right. So I remember you from the last time. I do know, I'm expecting even more trees than what they're telling you to come down, that is going to come down. Because the tree height requirement for underneath those power lines is 14 feet. So while you talk about the diameter, they're not talking to you about the height yet. So it's going to be that plus that. So anything with the 7 plus anything that is for Ching. It is really an infrastructure need. I don't think this, I don't speak on behalf of the entire board, but this board would be opposed to having Chelsea draft a letter and say, hey, what can we do to support it? You know, what programs that you have, what can we exchange? I think this board would be willing to do that, but our hands are tied. We don't own it. They are above us, right?
Well,
We
district
can
owns it,
request.
but they have the dominant estate because they have the consent and the right-of-way agreements and easements.
Flavia, we have, as of yesterday, I did request FPL to come and do a town hall on behalf of our residents. I'm told that that is going up the chain and they'll let us know. So we did make that request for them to come and do a presentation.
Have we seen any plans as to what
Oh,
the
sorry.
width of this project, this cut's going to be? Is anybody out there that lives seen anything on what the width is? The only thing that we have heard is that it's coming off the right-of-way that is parallel with Hammock and a couple of the other communities. But does it come out 50 feet, 20 feet? How many? Because if it
Right
comes,
up to ROW.
I'm sorry?
All trees marked going up to the boundary line between Gateway, mark those trees right there, all the way out to the linear road there. They're taking everything down.
to the path?
Yes.
Okay.
But not all the way, because there's some areas you have
Yeah, there's
wet, dry,
some-
deteriorating areas, so that's not
I
that.
have requested the plans 3 times and have yet to receive those.
Okay, so then the final thing that I have, and I think Sam? Okay, so thank you for being a supporter, and so I want to come with you for a solution, okay, and see if you can work with that. I don't know if you're going to be able to say yes or no, but since we do work together and you do have the ability to utilize our parking spaces. So one of the things that I believe we did, Tim or Mark asked, was for a waiver for the soccer and the referee, I mean, the soccer coaches, the referees, for them not to park that. Would the church be willing to open your parking lot during those hours and be a neighbor, just the same way that we allow you to park here during your events? I'm not saying for all of the kids, but at least, which would be my important, for the refs and the coaches to park at your school, and that will alleviate. It will alleviate. I don't know if you're the one that's going to give them an answer, but that's if you can pass that conversation on, because again, the parking, it's something that a decision has been made and it's been it's going to happen. But when you brought that up, that you were able to use here, and I know you are limited also on parking there, so it's not like you can open for everybody else, but you could have maybe the coaches and the refs do that. It's just, a side note, it's something that we can work at. Yeah, it's something.
I can bring it to our team and
Yeah.
see if that's an option. I mean, we love Gateway. I mean, that's the hope, is you guys know that I work so closely with Carrie for those events. So I can bring that to the team and I can just communicate with Mark.
It's just an idea.
I didn't realize that the decision had already been made.
For the parking, yes.
Yeah, so, but if we're looking for an alternative solution to potentially alleviate.
And I cannot thank you guys enough, for coming here. Do I wish it was prior to us making the decisions? Yes, because we all ears and I had kids, my kids play soccer. I think you may have seen me once because I don't like the heat. So I made my husband do it. Like there are certain things that's just not for me, but absolutely I'll support it. Once in a while I'll go there and see Mark and talk to Mark and complain about 10,000 things, and that's about it. That's the times that you're going to see me around. But I do think it's important. I think it's an asset. I think we should use it. The question is, who is going to pay for it? And it's okay. And it's like when budget come, and if we all support it, I want all of you. I'll make sure I'll have you drinks and snacks and chairs. And when all the people are telling me why to raise it, I want you all. I say, hold on. We have half of the community that wants to support us, see values, because you're here because you see a value in our community, right? The same way that we do. So we have to balance this room plus 9,850. So I really appreciate it on behalf of the board, all of you guys to come in. If you'd like to speak, I will open up for you. I would like you to come into the podium, fill up a little card, and I'll give you 3 minutes.
And let me just say really quick, a lot of the conversations, whether you agree with the parking increase or the increase in the fields, and we're still having conversation on that, the 2 things are driving those conversations. One is to try to minimize the gap to offset what our residents, what they're assessed. But more importantly, it's to maintain and improve the facility. So some of the primary drivers for increases are to upgrade the lights, upgrade irrigation, sod, parking. these are direct impacts to residents, non-residents, and for the kids. I've got 4 kids. I've coached
not even
for
in there,
both
right?
programs. My kids have played for both. And just, I want you to understand that what we're trying to do is not take money away or to drive revenue from the leagues and from the parks. That money is technically reinvested back and to offset a lot of improvements. I don't know if we'll even get approval to do a lot of the stuff that we've talked about, but we're trying to.
Because the majority of this is operation costs. While we want to have new sod, we want to have new lights, we need to have irrigation, those are all capitals. We haven't even put that number out there for you guys. And before here at 2:00 when we had a workshop, and that's kind of how, the board is talking about it. I'm afraid if you're seeing an increase, as resident or as parents, just the basic maintenance and operation of those fields, and you see it is a negative number. Imagine once I do, $2 million, $3 million to redo the sod. And to do the sod, I have to do the irrigation. So it's going to get costly, and we have to do, they're 30 years old, 25 years old. They weren't exactly properly maintained, but here we are, and like, let's just not cry over, let's see what can we do, so.
Make the field so that nobody can go on it.
Madam Chair, I would suggest that,
I was gonna say, I'm gonna ask that you allow her 3 minutes, and then if I have any other questions, I'll follow up on the floor.
My name is Ashley.
Hi,
I'm sorry.
Ashley.
My name is Ashley Almeida. I'm a football mom and a soccer mom here at the Fields. You had mentioned earlier that it had already been passed about the parking, and I have one thing to say. I have talked to many parents who have emailed. I don't know how many, at least dozens that I've spoken with, both from the Football League and the Soccer League. And they have all said one thing. Your meetings are at 3 p.m. on a Thursday. We are working parents. We are parents who have to pick our kids up from school. How can we make these meetings? How can we voice our concerns? If your meetings are at 3 p.m., could we once in a while have a 7 p.m. meeting during the week? Because at least half of those parents would stay home with their kids and then come to a meeting. I just feel like that's completely unfair. We don't want our kids to not play soccer and football and then end up video games, like he said, or God forbid, anything else that they could get into that may be unsafe, you know what I mean? These activities are safe for them. They look forward to playing with teammates. They look forward to, my kids have practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They have a game on Friday. They have games on Saturday. That's 6 days a week that we are busy at these fields, and I just don't think it's fair that other parents have not had the opportunity to voice their opinions like I have today.
Are you a Gateway, are you a Gateway resident?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so just to be clear, the parking that we passed is for non-residents.
I totally
If you're a Gateway resident, you pay $0 to park, just like you do today.
I totally understand.
And one more thing, and again, I'm a huge advocate for the leagues. You can ask Tim, Mark, this board, and this board has been very supportive of the leagues and parks and amenity, I think for the most part. Our percentage, I think you can, Tim and Mark, the percentage that is for lease for what they pay for the fields is probably around 30%.
And I understand
Of the
that.
total amount. So this board is not trying to take away the leagues or to price my kids out of it. So I just want to make sure we're understanding, we're operating on the right assumption that if prices go up, we're only 30, maybe 40% at the most of what that total fee is. Now, I know there's other operating costs, and I completely understand that, but let's make sure that we understand the cost burden that the district is putting on the leagues.
I do.
30,
I also-
40% today.
I do.
at
And I
max.
also understand that my kids have grandparents and an aunt and uncle that would love to see them play, but they don't live in Gateway.
Yeah, understand.
And again, half of, 3/4 of Gateway, honestly, can't come to these meetings, but because they're 3 p.m. These,
Thank you.
We
I think I've
understand.
made
Thank
my
you for your
point.
passion, we appreciate it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And then I will just end with this. I don't know if you're here in the beginning of the meeting. So while I've been involved in Gateway for almost half of my life, volunteering, okay, on the district level. The meetings at one point were 5, and people complained because that's when they had dinner. At one point it was 9 o'clock, and that's when I start my work. And that, so I will tell you, also being in 3 other boards besides this one, there is never a right time. But when I started this meeting, and when I did start every single meeting, every single one of you have the ability to send an email, and I am one to respond to every single email that I receive. I responded it. Okay, so while you don't have the ability to come here, you have a voice, because I will start before even addressing the residents that are here. I will look up to Laura, and I'll ask her to fully read that. So if you guys can pass that on, say, look, you cannot come in at, let me finish, Ashley. You cannot come in at 3 o'clock. But I was there and I saw it. And you know what? You can go back and you can look 3 or 4 meetings and see, you know, that's how they start. So you do have a voice. You can speak on behalf of them if you like. And if they can't, they can just send an email and Laura will fully read the entire email here. So changing for 3 o'clock, it's something that I necessarily wouldn't do it, because I will get into, then you put it at 6, that's when I do supper. Then you do it at 7, that's when my kids go into bed because it's a school night. Then you do it at 9 o'clock, I work. So unfortunately,
I understand.
3 o'clock is
I
the 3
understand.
o'clock.
Can I ask just one
Yes.
more
And
question?
Madam Chair, just one comment. The rules that were adopted for the parking facilities with that rate of $2, that was a 5 o'clock hearing, if I recall.
Yes.
Yes, and we had 2 people or 0?
Very, yes, very.
I think it was.
That was
I
5
would give
o'clock.
2, but I think it was 0, okay?
Maybe that wasn't completely, maybe that information wasn't given to the community. I don't know. I can't speak for those 2 people. I'm glad they came. But I do have one more question. If you're reading every email, how many did you get before this meeting?
26.
That's it?
And from the 26, I believe 22 was for outside residents of Gateway. And not all of them were in support of Gateway. There was a lot of emails that, you know, why am I subsidizing? I'm 65 years old. I love kids. I have grandkids. I'm willing, but I'm also on leave income. What about me? So those are the amount of emails that I got. And it was fun. The majority of the emails actually came from Timber Creek residents because they said it. I actually reside in Timber Creek, but it doesn't matter to me. It matters
I
to
at
me,
least
is
know
there a
5 in
dollar,
Stony
there's a
Brook.
cost, and then how we come up with the money. But I want to again thank every single one that came here. If you guys, my email is available on the website. All of our emails are on the website. It may take me a day or 2. Sometimes you're going to get an email that is exactly as your neighbor got, because usually it's kind of a summary of most questions. But I am available. My staff is available. The entire board is available.
You might
All right.
remember my name because I have emailed in the past. But if
Okay.
you don't remember my name, then I guess they're not getting read.
Okay.
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We're done? Thank
No
you,
more public
everyone.
comment.
All right. That's it. 1 hour, okay. Advisory, yes.
I
Approval of
move on
minutes.
agenda items 8A and B.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right.
No advisory committee reports.
No.
Next meeting.
After the budget discussion.
Budget, yes.
Okay, I'd like to answer a couple of deals. I
And I
didn't
think-
get to say anything, and I'll bite my tongue.
All right.
First thing is for staff, I'd like to take, as I indicated at the workshop, I'd like to get a breakdown and break apart of that $574,000. I want to see it. I want to know what it is. Second thing, and for everybody in the audience,
The 507,
the 574,000 that's been purported, I don't know where it came from, but that's the number that's on the table. That is our operating cost projection for 2027 for the soccer field, soccer complex. One is misinformation. And where it's coming from, I don't know, but I hope to find out. There are not 10,000 homes in Gateway. There's 4,881 homes paying for this, not 10,000. So if you divide it by X, you need to multiply it times 2, because that's what our residents are paying. It's not divided by 10,000. That operating cost of $574,000 is like every other operating cost. It's going to go up and up and up and up every year, because it's got things in it that are money sensitive. Salaries, wages, that type of stuff. Mowing grass, all of the items associated with maintaining that. That's not the one that bothers me. Doug kind of alluded to it. but I don't know if everybody understands the meaning of it. We need $3 million to fix that park. That's the sod, that's the lights, that's the drainage, and that's the parking. $3 million. I got to pass that $3 million on to 4,881 Gateway residents. I don't want anything burning in my front yard. And that dog isn't going to hunt as far as I'm concerned. Even if you amortize it with a bond over 10 years, that's 300,000 plus interest a year. So that made 574, 874. This number just keeps going up. I live in a community where I'm doing a little bit of a survey myself, and I'm being told, close it, close it. We're tired of paying this. And it's benefiting 75% of the people from outside Gateway. Our people, my people in my community are upset about this, immensely upset. So we came up 6 months ago when we started the whole idea of theory of the budget, is we were going to shoot for 50 to 75% that we want the users of that park to generate the revenue. That is a lot of money. And 67 to 137, or whatever the number was, on the rental fee, doesn't even get us there. We're talking about double or triple that amount of money. So you talk about parking, the parking whole idea, the only reason I went along with it is we're trying to generate revenue to offset the expense. Right now, we're not getting there. And I, as one board member, will not vote to spend one dime of $3 million if there is no guarantee that this thing's going to be alive in 1 year, let alone 10 years to pay for the bond. So those are some of the problems we got, but I will do this. I want the staff, I want to see that 574,000 and know that that is an actual factual number, and it's not just cherry picked. We're looking at about $1.8 million of total park cost. If that 574 is 574, then it is what it is. But I want to see that, and then we'll start dividing it by the actual number of people paying for it so that we don't have this hypothetical $40 to $50 per family. It's not 40 to 50. You take the 1.8 million, it's $356 per Gateway family. I can tell you right now, in my community, they're not going to put up with that. They're not going to put up with that. But let's get the facts and work with us and come up with an idea to generate funds to pay for this. If the families have to pay more, they have to pay more. But we have got to come up with that number of 50 to 75% return. That's still calling for our owners to pay 50 to 25%, subsidizing it. That's going to be a hard sell in and of itself. So those are some of the facts that we've got that we're dealing with. If it were just like it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where it was a couple of $100,000, that couple of $100,000 has morphed, and we can't handle it anymore. We've got to have revenue to protect the people here in the community. We just can't take our ad valorem assessment that went from 900 to 1,100 and take it up to 1,400. They're not going to put up with it. They're not going to put up with it.
What are some,
onto the budget.
From the budget perspective, is there, when it comes to, there's items, landscaping, both in the commons and parks. Have we started absorbing some of that in-house, or there's plans to do that?
It's both. So
it's both.
We acquired a piece of equipment this year to start mowing in-house and capturing how much time that's taking. The intent next year is to take away the automated mowers, which is a $55,000 annual cost. We know we'll recover, by doing it in-house. So with, over time, that's going to be a cost savings. The actual maintenance.
Stop on that. I was just talking to staff regarding that topic. What will be a half cost saving because we will need to add sod. Yeah. So you say 50 grand, but they would like to see 25 grand put in for sod replacement.
Well, that depends on if we do them, if we're milking the existing 25-year-old sod, then yeah, we're going to have to continue.
Well, that's a soft save, but still,
Yes.
it's a.
It's a savings. We did just this year, I think somebody made a comment about the concession stand, that the leagues ran in years past and took whatever revenue was generated from that to help offset their business. But we did just within the last 3 months entered into a contract with a concessionaire.
March.
His first month was March, and I don't even think that was a full month. So we've made some of these improvements to try to help reduce our continual costs. We're looking as part of the sod replacement of, putting in new irrigation systems, be more efficient with water usage, because if you throw water on the road, you're throwing away water cost on your water bill. We pay ourselves, just like, we are the utility. Our general fund has to pay the utility. I know we converted a couple years ago to LED lights. We saw drastic cost savings there, just like you would in your own home. So there are things that we just can't take in-house. There's for liability concerns. Could we maintain these fields to a lesser standard? Yeah. I think Mark and Tim could probably speak to that, and what was done 5+ years ago, but that is not being a premier community of choice. This board has set that standard, and that is what we are trying to be. Really expanding the parking lot, again, by implementing, and we have an agenda item later on that was prompted from the request from both leagues of offering a pass or a seasonal pass or a non-residential pass at a cost, which this board will be able to take under consideration. And if you so choose, we can have a public hearing in the future and implement that. As it sits today, it is simply Gateway resident, 0 cost. Everybody else, non-residents, have to pay the $2 an hour. And again, trying to be, conservative. And we could have implemented it yesterday. We chose not to, because we know that the impact that this is going to have on these families and that it takes time.
It was $5, the original, right? And we said to do.
What, 5 an hour?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
I
don't
believe
remember.
it started at 5 an hour when the presentation came, and I remember I was like, yeah.
Well,
So it's not gonna happen.
Tim and Mark, we've met many years now. This started even before my time here at Gateway, but we met months ago, and we knew that this was coming. We knew that there was, the board's direction is to reduce the tax burden to our residents. And the goal at that time, 4 or 5 months ago, was 50%. You guys haven't picked a number yet. We've said between 50 and 75%. With, to Ed's point, the subsidization still coming from our residents. We've talked about alternatives. We talked about banners. I know, Tim, you sent a lengthy email of, banners are an option. Well, you want me to compete with your businesses over the banners? I don't think so. So it's going to take a collective group effort to come up with this. Reducing cost, that is our goal. To take whatever we can in-house that doesn't jeopardize liability.
And just so everyone knows too, I think most people that are Gateway residents, these fields are 100% owned and funded by Gateway.
Yes.
Only.
We do not get any city or county assistance. Now, some board members have expressed interest in seeing if the county would be interested in taking those over. If you do that, we lose 100% control of who uses those fields. And that doesn't even guarantee Gateway Flag or Gateway Soccer the ability to even operate. The county could change, they could change direction and want to take those, So anyway, our desire, I think.
But we actually did that. Like, I don't know if it was unanimously, but the majority of the board, we did reach out, because I remember signing the letter.
You expressed interest.
I reach out to the county in writing, via staff, and we expressed that if they were willing to take over, and the answer was no.
Yeah.
And the reason why was because.
Which I'm completely opposed to it. Yeah, so I want to go back to the budget. In 2027, what contracts are up for renewals?
Not necessarily renewals. You're asking like, what contracts would be up? Do we use for the Sherman Soccer Complex?
No, let's say landscaping,
So
I mean, even, I'm just thinking even broader, like, you know,
Well, when
our
we-
engineering is, we just renewed that this past year, right?
A lot
for
of
3
them,
years?
a lot of them in the last 3 years we've renewed because they used to be annual contracts, and we secured 3-year contracts with fixed pricing and a 3% escalators for years 4 and 5. So the majority of our
So we don't have any
contracts-
major contracts up for negotiation next year?
No,
Okay.
we do not.
All right.
So we're at budget discussion. Where would you like to start?
No, just one before we start, because I did have to step out for a call. Do you recall, I guess that's a Laura question, do you recall from the business in Gateway, specifically Rock Sushi, the Tavern, Saucy Meatball, have they ever sponsored anything? I know we have asked. Have we ever got anything from them? Because I did remember seeing that on majority of my emails. You know, you're gonna take their business, right? So they live here. Are they supporting the children by, you know, maybe sponsoring a team, maybe sponsoring something, a field? Do you
We
recall?
have received some minor, as part of the special events, some donations as part of like Winterfest.
Winterfest, but
Yeah.
not soccer fields, nothing.
No.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, I know that you guys still sponsor teams, right? Yeah. Tim, you don't sponsor teams, right? You just have general sponsorships? Okay.
So, well, I mean, if we're talking sponsorships, I have to do the plug for our sponsorship package. So if one of the things that we've issued in the last month, and please tell your friends, we've promoted it all over social media. I personally promoted it on my LinkedIn, on my personal Facebook page. But if you know of any businesses that are looking to do some long-term partnerships and have their name out there, I'd love to have a conversation. Every single district asset that we have that is a Parks and Rec amenity, we can put a logo on it. We can put a name on it. We've got the commons with the paint striping.
Wink, right?
With the paint striping machine, we can put your logo in the middle of these soccer fields. We've talked about this. There's naming rights opportunities. Pickleball courts are coming. You know, put your business's name on a pickleball court. We're getting ready to have, you know, how many kids do you have in your leagues? 800, 600 based on the registrations numbers that you give us. Times, you know, however many families, that's a lot of eyes. So tell your friends who have businesses, please, we have sponsorship opportunities. That is going to help bridge the gap. We have a slide deck that just went out. We shared it on Facebook again yesterday. Spread the word. I am a firm believer of it's all about who you know in this world.
Where's that information? It's on the website?
It's all on the website. It's on our website and it's on social media.
And so, again, in the spirit of generating more revenue, I mean, we either have to charge more for the leagues today, or we have to generate more revenue. And we're trying to find additional revenue opportunity. We've got adult flag now.
Adult soccer.
Adult soccer on
Yep.
Sunday.
Yep.
Where we have open is Saturday nights, because I think you're done by what, 2, 3 o'clock? Yeah, so we have Saturday nights open. But for the rest of the week, I mean, either flag or soccer is using those fields. Where there's the area of opportunities during the summer. And I don't know, Mark or Tim, if you guys have.
We do have interest with I-9 has shown interest, and we're willing to work with, you know, on a smaller scale.
So we need to, my point is, even though we technically, in theory, use the summer to do maintenance, we probably need to do some of that, but, you know, if we could utilize the summer months more, would be helpful.
Generate revenue.
Yeah, either running leagues or, I mean, we've talked about tournaments. It's always, we've prohibited the leagues in the past from operating in the summer because we shut down for the summer. We're doing maintenance and normally about 3 weeks before the summer. Yeah, well, that's my point is, you know,
Why would I-9 want to come during the summer?
Okay, so I will ask that we do not engage with
Yeah.
conversation.
So getting back to the budget, we just got to find opportunities, and summer is definitely something that we talked about, but you're right, let's get back on budget.
Budget, yes, Carol?
Okay, if we could go back to the first thing we talked about in the workshop session, which was payroll
Sunsetting?
positions.
Oh, paying positions first?
Right. So I would like to move to budget for that the one new head count in Parks and Recreation.
Program coordinator?
Is that,
That's the title.
is that the title?
Yes.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
move to make that, and I'll second that.
So I would like that included.
For discussion, can we have some discussion on the comp structure on that? Not, maybe not now. But I think a key driver in that position should be program, the volume of programs and revenue.
Let's use the word must.
Yeah. But we need to set very clear goals on that and expectations, and there should be a revenue component to that. There should be a certain percentage of revenue.
But I think we have to authorize the head count first.
I
so
was just during
I think we're
discussion, I was
just
saying, I
going-
don't want to lose sight of, yes, we're going to approve the position, but we need to make sure that it stays true to creating programs, and also there's a revenue component to that.
When it comes to you to writing the description, then you can get feedback from us. I think that's what Doug wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, it's in here.
Correct.
Yes. But we haven't officially authorized
Does
the
it?
new head
Okay,
count.
so we have a motion by Carol, second by me to authorize the addition for the another staff for Parks and Rec. I'll go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right.
And then what percent?
Okay, so 4-1.
Then generally, we put together a pot of money for raises and stuff for the staff.
Correct.
And what, is that in here?
Yes.
And what percentage did you use?
We use 4%, and not everybody gets it. We just have a 4% pool, with the exception of Chelsea's salary, because that's set by you guys.
And just remind us how that 4% is broken up? Is it just a straight upward, you get 4%
They get
potential?
somewhere between 0 and 4.
Okay, it's not split between, so that has nothing to do with market, that is strictly merit?
Merit,
Okay,
yes.
performance?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
If somebody gets 0 and somebody else gets 6?
Yes.
Okay.
So each
Well, you
department.
said
head-
0 to 4.
Yeah.
4 is the max.
Yeah, 4 is max.
The department head is given the allocation with the intent that everybody get, if equal, everybody gets 4%. If,
High achievers get more, okay.
Like, for example, if you look here for Public Works, this is their merit pool, right here.
without exceeding their cap.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, so Doug, you're more in tune with this than I am. Is that a reasonable amount for this coming year? Inflation's about at 2%, 2.3, something like that.
Ask her through
What I-
her moods.
For companies that are doing it, and what I've seen over the last, probably up until this year, a lot of companies have not been paying out merit, they have not been paying out bonuses. They are starting, a lot of companies are doing that this year. So we've been ahead of the curve.
So they've only been upping the bases?
Well, a lot of companies have been, to be honest, a lot of companies have been frozen the
Oh, really?
last several years.
Okay.
Those
loves that.
those that are doing it, we're seeing it this year is almost across the board, everyone's increasing. The average is between like 3 to 4%.
Okay, so 4%.
4% would be slightly
is
above market, but
significant.
but it depends, like, again, I can't tell you if that's, because I don't have the data in front of me, whether that's specifically, like, what government has been paying. I can find that out, but I would say 3 to 4% would be reasonable under current market conditions.
Okay. Then I would like to move for you to incorporate 4%.
Don't change what I did. What we have is good.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
all right.
Do you need a motion for that, or no, just?
I'm only
it's already there, right?
documenting changes. If whatever's here is here, and then
That's what-
whatever
okay.
you want us to
Okay.
change, I will change
It's
it.
just budgetary
I
recommendation
assume
at
what's
this
here
point.
is good unless you ask me to change it.
Okay, so then,
Okay.
So if we do that, then that automatically ups our tax base cost, right, to the residents? Got to get the money somewhere, right?
It's
So it comes in the
it's
non-ad
Well, we did that last
It's
year,
in
so.
this right
Yeah,
now.
I understand, I'm just, putting it out
Chelsea,
there.
where did you put the
There's no
security?
free money.
It was 4 last year, too?
Security.
Okay, so
Contracted services, security.
contractor services, that's what I was asking.
But it was 4% last year, too.
But we didn't have the money last year either. All I'm saying is we don't get the money if the residents don't give it to us.
Oh, true.
As Doug said, a lot of companies have been frozen. I'm not advocating that. But just realize when we're spending money, it's money.
do we want to cut it to 3?
Well, there should be a surplus, though.
Yeah, but the surplus doesn't necessarily mean they use for that particular line item in the following year, because
No, but
we
what I'm
have-
saying is, we approve 4% across the board, operating the assumption that everyone would get 4%. That should not happen.
No.
but
Didn't you just
collect-
hear him
but
say?
But you're collecting.
Yeah.
The
the money.
overachievers got 6. Somebody got 1, but somebody
It
else
should
got
be
No,
6.
max at
no, no.
4%.
That's not what I
Max-
just
No,
said.
max is
Max of
4.
4%.
Nobody should, max is 4%,
That's why I asked that question, and I was told no.
yeah, I wouldn't take
Which
it,
is it, Chelsea?
Paul couldn't make it, he wasn't, my expectation, if Paul didn't get any, I can use Paul, because Paul worked here. Tim, we don't have a Tim, right? So.
He works for nothing.
He works for nothing, really. So if Tim didn't do anything, he doesn't deserve, well, my expectation is he'll be in a development plan, start with that. And that doesn't mean that the other person would get 8.
4.5
He's
or 5.
4 plus the other 4, or 6.
The way it
or
works
whatever.
is if you, we're
I
approved
want to hear it
4%.
from them. They're saying
Yeah.
something different than you. Tell me, how's it work?
Exactly like I explained earlier. So the pot of money goes to the department head. I can tell you, to date, to my knowledge, very few, maybe one person in the 4 years I've been here has exceeded the 4%.
Most people get 3,
Most people get 3.
but we have the ability for
It's
those.
a different
Question.
But that is,
The question
Well, that-
is,
there's 2 ways to do it. You allocate the dollars and you distribute. You distribute that money. But normally, if you have a cap,
To
let's
me,
say,
it's
if we
different.
cap 4%, the
That's the
cap is
cap.
4. So your exceed performer would be 4%.
so the board
Your
is,
meets
the
would be
board is
3.
dictating staff's salaries through the.
We are dictating a max cap salary, yes,
Yeah.
4%.
Yeah.
And then my expectation is the head of the department should cheer to everybody to have a 4%. Because if they're developing
there's
your
2 ways-
staff, then everybody should get a 4%. And it shouldn't take you a year to realize that you're not gonna get that 4%.
Well, I
So-
mean, you can do it either way, and I'm comfortable, I mean, I do both. You set, we approve based on, if you, normally finance guy says, okay, here's how much money we have for merit increases, it's X amount. That gets distributed, and then the department heads get a certain amount, and whatever the distribution is, it could be up to 6%, but it's the pool of money. Or you set the dollar amount and the threshold would be a max 4%. You do one or the other, and I'm fine with either one. I mean, if you collect the money, you distribute it, if we're gonna approve it that way. Or we say, what we're approving is the pool of money.
all I wanted
with
to
the
know is what we
restriction-
did.
With the restriction of a
The
max
pool
percentage.
is what you have historically done, and then how that pool is split is the district manager ultimately and staff's decision on how that gets done.
We don't have the cap.
Typically,
Okay.
Laura said, most people are at 3%. In the 4 years I've been here, I can honestly say maybe one person has
Then
exceeded
that
that.
implies that there's got to be a surplus at the end of the year.
No, they
No.
burn
Wait,
through it.
wait. If you got a 4% pool to give, range, and not everybody got 4%, there's got to be extra money at the end of the year.
And every year since I've been here, we have had a surplus rollover of funds.
That's
which-
what I asked.
which-
You do have a surplus
which-
then.
But it does not stay with it. This is not an HOA. It does not, the surplus of fund does not stay with the surplus of salaries.
Correct.
Example.
back to general fund.
L left, Daniel left. So we budgeted for those items, right? So now it's not even their salaries. So we didn't give them a raise, and now we're not even paying them, and we didn't hire anyone. So there was definitely a surplus last year. That does not mean that we can take that surplus from 2026 and apply to 2027 and say there will be no increase. The surplus.
But it ended
is-
up in the bottom line of
It's in the
2020.
bottom of,
Okay.
you know what is going?
Historic-
Subsidizing something that it's upside down.
Yeah.
That's what's going.
Historically, you've given us a pot, and then how we split the pot is determined by us in the handbook. So,
I use this column to calculate the pot, so.
So then I'd like to bring up pensions.
Well, Cal, before that, what are we going to do as a board? Which would we want? Keep it
You
like
want
it is or
four,
change it
you
to a
want
cap?
three?
I thought I made a motion for a pot of money for 4%,
It's a, pot.
That's what's in here right now.
So
which is what is in the budget right now.
Okay, so then let me clarify. Is the pot for 4% a total, or is a pot of 4% total, including 4% max per individual? That's the question.
I would say yes to
Number
the
one.
second part.
Me too. I mean,
I agree with that.
I would have say,
Your first one
I would have
is
say,
how I understood it.
I understand. Okay, so I would agree with the second. It's a 4% it's 4% for admin. Okay, everybody that's on the admin can get either 0 up to a 4%. You cannot have somebody that gets 0 and one gets 5, because if the cap for the entire thing is 4, nobody should go above that. That's kind of how I'll go.
that's the way I would like to do
And
it.
you?
Under the if we're defining that today, under current conditions, I would say 4% is the amount that we allocate with a cap of 4%.
Yes.
Individual, okay, yes,
individual.
That I agree with.
that's what I would say. So do you need to
What did you
redo?
have said?
That's what I said.
Oh, okay, that's what I.
I'm positive that's what I said.
Okay.
Which is
I-
slightly different from the way we've been doing
Boys
it.
are hot in here.
I would agree with that.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm going back to you're changing what
Yes.
you've done in the past.
Yes.
And now you're saying the maximum of any staff employee increase is 4%.
Yes.
Is and historically been a district manager decision to make based on a pot of money that you've given.
Correct. And then prior to the district manager making that decision, we make the decision on budget. So we're still allowing you to make that decision. You're just capped at giving your employee up to 4%. So we don't want to get into telling you how and who gets and who does
But you
not.
have by saying 4%.
Only the cap.
Yeah,
By putting the
because
cap
it's
in
our
place.
job, not staff's job, to come up with the budget and set those numbers. So the set number is 4%, and then you, as you please, work with that 4%.
Okay, so we will amend the handbook to address that.
Do we need a public hearing for that, or not?
Well, Does the
That's in
handbook,
Mich-
does
that's
the
in
handbook
Mich-
today currently say that the district manager?
That if funds are available for merit increases, that this is how we do things.
I'm sure that's
It doesn't
not
have
how
a
it says.
cap? It doesn't have a cap on the book?
No.
Okay.
It's based on
Because
budget.
it's based on the
No,
budget.
the wording that I'm looking for from you is that it's at the district manager's discretion. Is that the way the
Yes.
wording says? When it does not say that it's at the
If
board's
funds-
discretion.
Yes.
In the handbook. It says if the funds are available, which the funds are set by the board.
So I think it's a combination of both. So the funds are available, but there's a cap on
Word
the
it wherever
fund.
way we got to word it.
I think
Let's
that's
move
what
on.
it is. We've got a new definition of what the
Word it
description
however
is.
we need to
Yes.
word it and move on.
Yeah.
So I'm clear, I am clear, no employee under me can receive more than a 4% merit increase next year.
And here's why you can't do that, or why I would argue against it, is if you're setting an expectation of what your potential is, then it's a moving target. Like if you say an exceeds is X is, if you're rated a meets performer, that equals a 3% increase. If you're an exceeds, that equals a 4% or a 5%. If it's a moving target, it's very difficult, almost
Why would
impossible to set a
exceed-
moving target, because you could be an exceed and get 6%, you could be a meets and get a 3%, like that, to me, that's a problem.
Well, what's worse is you could be in a pool which took all four, but you would have been, looking overall, you could have been a person who had been a candidate for 6. So it's what pool
This
you're in.
is a more
This
structured
is a lot
approach,
better.
and it still should give you the same dollar,
Well, one's the budget, we've just said that we want to do there. The other's the other.
It doesn't change anything that we've done here because the dollar value is in the pool.
Right.
That's the key.
Yeah, and what I would suggest is that once, changing the employee manual is an administrative matter, but I think it should come back to the board, so the board can see the changes, make sure that what they're articulated is in the manual.
I will go back and review the language that it captures the new method and make sure it addresses that.
Okay.
Okay, so if I could bring up pensions, we had talked earlier about changing pensions, and the staff basically was saying they would, rather than changing pension plans, they would rather be allowed to increase the amount that they contribute to the pension fund.
Just correction, we do not have a pension.
I'm sorry, what do we
Let me make
have?
sure, we have a 457B plan. We do not have a pension.
Okay.
Big difference.
To the 457B plan.
Yes.
Okay. Rather than, but you wanted the employees to have the opportunity to contribute more if they wanted to.
Correct.
Rather than the
3%.
3%. Okay. Do we need any changes to the budget or anything from us to implement that?
At the last meeting, you approved us to increase our match from 3, 4, 5% tiered to 6, 7, and 8% tiered, and I reflected that in this budget.
Okay, so I didn't think we voted on that.
You did.
I think we, oh, okay. then I apologize.
I wouldn't have made the change otherwise, but yeah, you
Okay.
did. So I used 7 for an average. Actually,
Okay.
I went through
I
each.
thought we discussed it,
I went
but we
through each
never actually
individual.
voted on it.
I went through each individual employee and those that are contributing and whatever they would be at with the new year, I changed it so it's actuals in the budget.
So is there any other category or area for payroll and our employees that we need to address in budgeting for this next year?
Oh, question.
I have a question. You know what I would have loved, like sponsorship, if we're.
Because I always believe that that is the heart and soul of your budget.
And I did
is your
find-
payroll and your head count and all that sort of stuff.
Right, I did
That's the
find,
stuff You got to make decisions on first.
Because what we had talked about last time is I did some research and Sherry did a big part of the lifting as well and compared the match that we have with our 457B to other government agencies that don't offer FRS, that they have a plan like ours, and we are much, much lower than what they are at, and that was why we had asked to have it increase up to 6%, 7%, and 8%, which puts us in line with those other entities.
So right now, we have a max of 3% for the 357B
No.
from an employee.
No.
No, under 457B, you can go up to like
No,
24,000.
ours is,
Ours, okay.
we
As
hit
opposed to
for-
employees'
from-
contribution.
Okay,
It's a 3% match right
up to
now.
first 5
But
years.
employees can put in how
They can put
much-
up anything they want,
anything
yeah,
they
we
want.
match.
What we're talking about is the match, is the
Yes,
district
we
match.
match either 3%, 4%, or 5% currently,
said
depending on
30.
how
I was
long
like,
they've
I
been
wanna
here.
work here.
And what we did is we asked to have that changed and you approved it to make it be instead of 3%, 4%, and 5% tiered, it's 6%, 7%, and 8%
Where's that,
tiered.
Laura, in this budget?
That's
on-
included in the retirement. It's not on this page. It's actually on this column, right here, this retirement column.
three?
Yes.
457B is a
Yeah.
government equivalent of a 401K.
So you've estimated that percentage
Yep.
and put that in here.
Based on
As
tenure.
if everybody was going to do that.
Yes.
So that's one that's got a possibility of a
And we do that, that's how we
Reduction or
handle it.
surplus.
Yeah. We handle
But then we
that.
needed it to do
that
that,
way
so we
each
could
year.
budget it.
What's it- What amount do we
A
budget?
little bidder.
It's based on tenure, so somebody who's been here.
Oh, for the, okay, so the tier is
Yeah,
6,
so
7, 8.
our maximum exposure would be based on their tenure.
Okay.
And obviously, part-time people is 0. You can see down here, they get
So if
nothing.
everything else is fine then, and this number then, this is the basis of the distribution to each one of the sub-accounts or the silos?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Anything else for staffing?
Nothing for staffing.
I mentioned it in passing earlier, but we have hired, contingent upon a drug test and background check, Stephanie's replacement.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
they shall be
They should be
start.
starting the 20th.
Are you
Where coming from?
anticipating with the park, what are we calling the new park role?
Coordinator?
Program
No,
coordinator?
No, the park attendants.
The ranger you're talking about?
Park
Yeah, whatever,
attendants.
yeah.
Premium parking, but premium parking will be doing that, correct?
So,
No? Okay.
no, I'm talking about the park attendants, people that like today, that are
Part-time.
the pool and over here. So that role will stay the same. Their roles and responsibility will be expanded with the new facility and having them kind of walk the grounds and all that stuff. Are we talking about adjustments to the hourly rate, and are we thinking about, we're not making it, so the job will stay the same, the pay will stay the same?
So the job description has to be tweaked because right now, they're doing a lot of maintenance responsibilities, and those maintenance responsibilities will be more pushed towards maintenance. Now, they may have to clean a bathroom every now and then like they do. They're cleaning bathrooms regularly now, but there will be some ins and outs of that job description.
The question is, since we have Tim here, Mark's gone.
So
Do you see a benefit on having, I don't know, 15 years ago, when we had a pool person. I'm thinking Natalie, I think it's 20 years ago. So that's before you. So Natalie was in charge of the pool. So we had a pool person, right? So I will say that there was a benefit to that because there was more ownership. Because she knew this is the pool. So the pool was maintained. I mean, it was newer, but it was maintained to a different standard now because they had that ownership. Would we be, because the money's there, the staff is there, and we could divide it. Could we have somebody that oversee, soccer fields and and it's probably gonna be less, like, so you'll receive concession stand, the cleanliness, the garbage, and he'll probably, that could be a true part-time position.
I think the position, and honestly, I think we should be opening that up for both part-time and full-time.
And that's what I was thinking.
But I
and-
think that the position, the responsibilities, I don't think the position should be dedicated to any one area. I think it should be,
General.
because it's seasonal, there's time. I think it should be a park, whatever you want to call it, Parks and Rec, I don't know, attendant, whatever.
What they are now.
That's what the title is
That's
now.
what they are,
So
yeah.
whatever it
It's
is.
the kind of person that's gonna be generating, are available for whatever activity we have right there.
No,
That's the
this is
coordinator.
the park attendant is what we have now, which
Who's
the
gonna do
under,
this?
under
This is
the,
another
under the
function.
job
It's more of a
description.
maintenance position.
Yeah.
My question
We've
is,
already accounted for that.
So, but my
there
point.
will need to be a function that says we have 5 courts available from 5 in the morning to 5 at night, and schedule people that sign up for it. Who's gonna do that?
Facilitron.
It's
That's a
It's
facilitron?
what,
It's what, not who.
But-
Yeah.
but it's like
But still,
Facilitron.
this is still the responsibility of the park person
Of the
to
program
monitor
coordinator.
when the facilities are being used, to be able to check periodically if someone's on the pickleball court, to make sure that they're scheduled. Someone's not on the court using it that hasn't assigned. The same thing, I think we have to expand the hours, because I don't know how many times I've been out at the fields on any night, and Tim can attest to this, and the sprinkler's going off, or the lights don't work, or there's an issue with trash or something. I mean, I think we should expand the hours and have
I
someone.
won't mention the trash in front of the building today.
And have someone that is out there during the hours of operation. It's not just 5 o'clock. I think we should expand it, because to me, if we've got someone at staff who is around the fields during hours of operation, they help maintain the facility, they help, to me, that's.
To me, Doug, that's the responsibility of the supervisors,
I think we're gonna grossly
Means the league
underestimate what's
supervisors?
required.
the department supervisors. Whoever is in charge of parks, they check and verify that stuff.
I think we're grossly
I mean, that's just
underestimating
part
what
of
it's gonna
doing-
take to maintain
Part of
this.
business.
You-
They're their
Say the
responsibility.
pickleball courts,
Everybody leaves at 4?
say the pickleball courts are high intensity usage. And Geppert and Tinkle sign up every day at 10 o'clock. Never show up, but we sign up.
I've never seen.
How do you adjust
I've
that?
never seen a location that offers a facility that requires the league coordinators to maintain the bathrooms or to take out trash. I've never seen it. And
Other than the
I'm in
pool?
fields all the
But
time.
no,
I'm not talking about the pool.
Okay.
No, I
I'm
don't think
talking
that-
everywhere.
I don't think that's what he meant. He didn't mean that league. He meant like whoever's the supervisor intern, ours, on our side.
Yeah, I just think that
Yeah.
we need to have staff out here when.
So if I could
when they're
interject.
being used.
Supervisors, in my opinion, they should be the ones to monitor that, and they should be the ones to get it fixed. Not saying they do it, but they have a system on how it gets fixed.
If I could interject. So everything you're talking about, hours of operation, staffing plan, Carrie has put together. They talked about it at PrAC just this week. We have to adjust roles and responsibilities. So these park attendants that are now more maintenance than anything are going to adjust to be the eyes and ears, the doers of things. We have a maintenance dedicated position. We have what is proposed as a program coordinator. The hours of operation you have not set for the commons yet. We know what the fixed hours are here, and a lot of it's driven by the rentals, especially after hours. But she has put together what those anticipated hours are, what the coverage is. We have a staffing plan put together. It was presented at PrAC. PrAC approved, and it's going to be coming in front of you at the next meeting. So instead of getting into the weeds of ops at the board level, what we've presented to date with this one new net position, we believe will cover what we're proposing of hours from 7 to 7. If you extend that, then yes, I will need additional staff. But as of right now, 7 to 7 is the anticipated time.
And I think
7
that's a
days.
good-
Just
I
change
think
that on Friday nights during
Yeah, I
flag
think,
games.
yeah, I
And-
think
and-
that's a good start because also
Well, I got a lot of concerns, but one of them is people reserving a court. Okay, there's got to be a system to
a
do that.
program,
Okay,
yes.
so you reserved it. Now you wake up that morning and you broke your neck. So there's a wait list. And somebody's got to be sending out notification. Geppert's not going to make it, but Tinkle's on the wait list. Is it thought through enough that we,
Yes.
and that's a
So,
Facilitron or is that?
well, we are looking at both Facilitron and another program, Civic Rec. Again, PrAC has discussed this, and I think I mentioned this to you guys at the last meeting. So we have 12 courts, so you have 4, 4, and 4. The intent is to have the top 4 be RSVP, league play, whatever it may be, and then the next 2 sets of 4 be open play for our residents, rotation, first come, first serve.
Okay. I didn't need the detail as long as it's the plan and there's
Yes.
a way that people will be able to access it and sign up.
We're working through that, yes.
It'll be a rush in the morning, just like it is everywhere else.
Well, they've got a pretty good system right now at Pelican. Took a long time to get there, but,
Well, in a lot of these places, they have where you literally put your paddle up.
yeah, we had that too.
So,
When it's open
yeah.
play and
Yep.
you put your paddle in the fence and when it's your turn, you play.
So from a staffing perspective, again, you're going to see the hours that your Parks Committee is proposing. This staffing plan mirrors that. If you choose to extend those hours, and yes, to your point, Doug, we know during peak league play, we're going to have to adjust. Staff schedules are going to have to adjust. We have to make sure our part-timers stay, under the required amount of hours. But in the summer, that can change, that can fluctuate. So we have peaks and valleys, just like everything else, and we're going to manage accordingly.
What you're saying is that 1560 might go up or down depending upon need.
No, 1560 is the maximum a part-timer can work.
And do we have any full-time in this
The
role?
program coordinator.
That's the only
Yes,
one.
that's-
I think we should consider having
And
a
Carrie.
facility coordinator or Parks and Rec attendant, whatever, as offering it as a full-time position as well.
Well, the program coordinator is full-time, 2080.
Carrie and.
Yeah, but that's someone, that's someone
That's
who's.
very specific
That's
to,
working, I'm talking the ability to hire a full-time person, because we're gonna need more than one.
Another person.
Yeah, and I
That's
think.
not in the budget.
or do we just add another $25,000 and make them full-time?
I just want the flexibility.
Who's
If we have
talking about?
somebody,
Who's
if
the
we have
other
somebody
25 for
good,
full?
and they could be here full-time.
So you have,
'Cause
so
you have
right now you
restrictions.
have Carrie, and then the vacant position that'll be full-time. Everybody else below that, it's part-time.
Right.
Then there's one maintenance worker that is full-time. So the
So we
maintenance,
can continue with 4 part-times, or we can do 3 part-times, 1 full-time, or we can do 4 part-times, 1 additional full-time. I'm inclined to go keep 4, 3 full-time, 3 part-time and 1 full-time.
Say it again. 3,
One of the existing positions, make that full-time
Okay.
to support what Doug
Because
is.
to me, the
Another three
full-time
parts.
Because
position,
then you don't have to hire insurance and everything.
Yeah.
You're just bumping them up. It makes it.
Wait,
to me, it
whoa,
opens
what?
up.
Hold on.
wait a minute, we're doing this,
yeah, full-time is benefits and everything.
Yeah.
So a 1560 is a part-time position.
so you're gonna go clear across the board with all the deals.
You're adding 30% for benefits
But,
right
but if
there.
we put that in here
Plus
on any
extra
one of those
salary.
names, alls it is
Yeah, I know.
it's budgetary. That's all it is. It's budgetary. We're not making the deal right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's budgetary.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm thinking that the full-time position would be more of assuming a little bit more maintenance responsibility, or someone that's gonna be on the grounds, because we're capped right now at, what do we average, like 30 hours, 20, 30?
32 is the
32
maximum
is
that
the
they can
max.
work.
Most of them, some of them work about 18, some work closer to 30. It's kind of all over the board.
I would just like to bake in the ability, because that also starts to build succession. So someone that is a full-time facility coordinator can probably progress, because it might be leaning more towards maintenance, or it could be more program. They could go more
I
program.
think
they
we could
go-
hold this discussion better in November, December than we can today. We don't know what's going
just-
to happen.
When we see our needs.
All right.
So again, the staffing was driven by the hours and the programs. If you extend the hours,
I agree.
We may have to adjust it. It's a start.
That might be the best thing, because the way you
You
see
can
what it is,
always,
we have to adjust, we
you can
adjust.
always adjust your
There's
head
gonna be things that
count
were
mid-year. if
unforeseen
need
and
be.
unforeseeable.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it right now. I'd leave it the way it is.
All right, perfect. Nothing else for staffing then?
Nope.
No additions for utilities,
No,
Nope.
can't even fill the ones we have.
We have 2 vacant positions right now.
and your, do you have your, landscaping?
Yeah, Angela.
But you don't need to expand that? That's good, okay.
So if you don't mind, I know if we want to skip portions of capital, that's fine, but like for parks, that's fine. But I would like to go just line item by line item through capital and have discussions on some of these projects, because you voted on some of these projects, but the funding source is my concern, if I'm being completely transparent. So if we want to run through these, we can start at the
Page
top.
8.
So utilities, these are pretty straightforward. There really hasn't been much adjustments since years past. I've actually told staff that they need to reduce their capital. But we've got the lift stations, 50,000. We have the lift station rehabs, which is 180,000, which they're approximately 90,000 per year. So we need to rehab lift stations.
Yes.
Yes.
These rehabs need to be done.
Yes. When we have 30, we will have 32 lift stations. So, and then.
We basically do 2 a year.
Yeah.
We rehab 2 a year.
Yes, ma'am.
There's nothing yellow, says nothing changed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Insertion valves, strategically placing those throughout the system, lift station panels, a couple new ones, master manhole lids, a lot of them are corroded, replacing those to the composite.
So if it's capital, it's just straight annually budgeted.
Yep.
It's no debt retirement, no nothing.
Correct.
No bond.
One and dones. Now, I'm going to say, yes, if it's labeled capital. So moving down to the bottom, we've got the meter replacement project, which that is SRF funded, so that's kind of a moot point, but we had to, depending on when the project is completed, this number might come out for next year's budget. We're anticipating it to be done before the end of fiscal, hope, knock on wood. The only caveat that I will say is the force main project, which again, we're waiting on that grant money. We'll have a 25% match with that. Again, we're trying to pursue that.
But you haven't shown that either way.
Correct.
It's
Well,
blank.
No. Oh, yes. So.
But we've been approved for funding for the entire project through SRF.
If needed, but we're waiting on grant money to hopefully get that funded and paid for. All right, moving down. One project that we've kind of danced around, scroll back up to the top, please, is the last item, water table aquifers. You remember about the.
Here.
Over there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where remember
church.
at the last meeting, we had the agreement with the club and we took over on the water use permit, the water table aquifers. Well, we took them over and they're there. Some work needs to be done to them to actually make them live and operable. My question to you is, it's a redundancy in our system. It's not necessarily a need. We've operated without them. They're on our water use permit, but is this a project that we want to wait a couple years?
I would wait.
I would wait on that.
Find it out.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Just make sure that we don't lose track of it.
No, we'll push
but
it to
right
year
now,
5.
yeah.
We'll push it out to year 5.
Okay,
But
but,
I'm no longer here.
okay, so we're talking about the very last item here.
Yes, ma'am.
The 250,000?
Yeah.
Well, what's the 700,000 for the year after that?
1 year would be engineering, and then the following year would be construction.
Oh,
So
so it's
we'll-
actually a 950,000 project
we
total.
have no idea until the engineering gets
Just a
done.
number.
It's a number,
It's a
but
placeholder.
it's a project that we've talked about that we have not actioned, so I would be more than happy to push this out, but I want to keep it
year or
on the
two?
list, yes.
Just a question, is there a time frame expiration on the water use permit we need to track to make sure it's extended if need be?
This year, we're renewing the water use permit.
Or 5 years, 10 years, how many?
I don't know. We haven't applied, we haven't submitted the application. I don't know if we're able to do a 10-year instead of a 5, but
Oh, the
typically
max,
it's
whatever
5.
the max,
Typically
okay.
it's a 5-year. So we will push that out. Just, I wanted clarification because that one's kind of been lingering. So that's all
So you're
really
going to move it from 26, the engineering from 26 to
I have no
27.
idea.
like 35 maybe even.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
4 years down.
Because I'm sure in 4 years, our prices are going to go down for everything
Yeah,
else.
I would say
All
4
right,
years.
so that project,
We'll find a bucket of
Wait
money
a minute,
somewhere.
why move it out that far?
it's not,
10 years?
I mean, we'll push
2
it
years.
4 years. We can push it out to the year 4 on here.
Okay,
That way, we'll meet in the middle. I'm fine with that.
okay.
It's on the radar, but it's not now.
10 years is
Right.
too much.
Okay.
I won't be here 10 years, I won't care.
All right, any questions for utilities for capital? Okay. Moving on. All right, so Public Works. I want to call out the Lake Bank Point repairs and maintenance. So we have very limited money left in the bond. This, I feel like,
It's very little.
could be a capital expense every year instead of a bond expense.
Especially for $40,000, I think we could put that under capital.
How much are we talking about?
Every year, we do an inspection and then we go out and make the repairs. So like
Yeah, but
this,
that is not a capital, that is an operating,
well, that's,
That's repair. It's regular,
that's repair,
ordinary-
that shouldn't even be, I mean, if we're doing point repairs are not capital.
So we were
improvements.
asking to put under O&M.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, then.
Yes.
For me- Yeah, it's a yes for me.
Yes.
Me too.
so
If it increases the service life, it could be a capital.
That's correct.
it could go either way. Again, it's your
But
call.
Ed, let's be realistic. What can we do with $40,000 and the smallest body of water that we have that would increase a thing? Fill it up with dirt?
Be a
Not
little-
even, it will cost us more than that.
Be a little hole.
Work on the tee box.
Exactly, yeah.
It's mainly,
So move
it's
it-
mainly stone.
So, yeah, but that would, if it's mainly stone, then it's absolutely,
Okay.
If it's
Operation.
just stone, then
We'll shift that to-
and fixing small things, then just leave it as capital.
So you. Capital or
no, we
ops?
meant ops. Ops.
I move to
Ops.
make it ops.
Ops.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What's this next
What's the
one?
what's the mulcher, the SIPI mulcher?
Mini excavator?
No, not the mini excavator, I know what that is, but
A mulcher, as we're clearing and grubbing all of these areas,
pull behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that has been a wish list that I have
And then what
pushed.
are we doing with the debris?
Wait, okay. Walk me through.
Put it in the
how- Stop it.
Okay.
Give me an example, give me 2 examples of a task where a mulcher was needed.
The FPL easement. Totally clearing that, which we still have to do.
That's on the basis
And the-
that we do something
Well,
over
in the
there.
middle, I mean, to make it clean.
Because I don't want to buy an item for a one-time thing.
How much is it to rent?
So I'm thinking, like, where we would utilize this? The palm tree trimming people will utilize this, we contract it out, so our staff doesn't need it. Our staff does not go and trim anything that is probably under 3 feet tall. They wouldn't need that. So to me, if we're going to do it as a one-time thing for FPL, that clearing is going to need a massive clearing. And then after that is maintenance, and maintenance should be within our maintenance contract. It's going to be a different
That's fair.
set of maintenance skills because it's Bahia, so it doesn't have to be mowed as often. But I would be opposed of purchasing a mulcher for just that need.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, unless there's other
Because,
intended usage.
and so that's what I was
for it.
saying, what are the uses? Because looking at us, under our contract, anything, all the trees are under the contract, palm trees are under contract. Mainscape has everything that's under 10 feet. So there is nothing, there is no really a need besides a specific project, which I don't disagree, but I think we either pay a vendor, do a one-time thing, and we'll continue regular maintenance, or we rent it out. I would be opposed to spending
We'll remove it.
$36,000.
We'll remove that. Look at you guys.
And no other changes on this one? Nothing in yellow, right?
Anything else?
So I want to call out the new bond items.
I
So,
would add another trailer, because I do see a need for that. If anything.
that's
the-
on here.
The $5,000 for trailer, I would add more money for.
It's
2
shared,
trailers.
it's shared it's shared across the funds.
It is, okay.
That's why you only see a
Because that I
small.
could see a need, because sometimes I do see our utility, I'll text you, I'll see the utility doing 2 trips where they could do one. So to me, it's not the two trips of gas, it's the time and effort because there's two employees going twice.
So we need a larger trailer to be able to haul
A
multiple equipment?
trailer to haul equipment.
Yep.
Like, so when they go to Pelican, they have the, like.
Oh, so
sometimes
they just
have
take
to-
2 trucks with
Take it with them.
Yeah,
two trailers?
uh-huh, uh-huh,
Okay, I see what
yeah.
you're saying.
All right, so I'd
So
like.
is everything in the new bond, new?
Be a new bond if you chose to do these projects. So let's go through them one by one. So
What is the, just for, the tree line sidewalk?
is
Yeah,
the,
between
That's.
C5 and Winn-Dixie.
yes,
The opposite.
the shared use path
That's
over
what I
there
thought.
for Pelican. So the Commerce Roundabout Monument. So this would be a,
First light is 2027, right? There's 2027, right?
Commerce.
so this would be a new kind of welcome sign, welcome to Gateway, thanks for coming to Gateway, in the middle of the Commerce Roundabout. That way, you have a large fountain in one roundabout and you have nothing in the other. So this would be a small, short, like kind of welcome to Gateway monument. In tandem with that would be putting that roundabout to turf instead of the shell that's out there. So they would match.
Turf does look good.
Okay, yeah.
So
The
that's
shells look ugly.
$75,000 for those two items.
You want to do a side note before I forget on the supervisor comments? So the artificial turf on the fountain, on the side that's between Denny Grimes and where the accident happened, there's about a 2 to 3 inch lip, like looks like the fabric is stretched on one side, it's lifting up. Only on that side.
Got it.
I know
All right.
that.
So we did get quotes for these two items. So those would be true costs. The next item you have had as part of the RWA contract, the Griffin Drive landscaping, 500, the EOPC at 100% was 510,000. So that was sod and landscaping as part of that contract. Proposed EOPC if you chose to do those enhancements of landscaping. Again, new bond. The next.
Wait a minute. Why do we need to do that?
Because that's what we have Bahia.
Is that what?
That's that map, we have, so along Griffin, there is no irrigation. So the reason why, the only area in Gateway that does not have Floritan, like real grass, it's Griffin, because you couldn't put that because there was no water. So we're doing irrigation, so now you need to put the new sod. If there was a way to cut some of those trees, if there's I would absolutely in for cutting the trees. Because when I did look at those maps that you printed and what they're suggesting to plant the trees by my concern areas, which was by the swale, by Hampton Park and all that, if there's a value to cut that, I mean, I think we should just focus just on the sod.
We can evaluate that as part, I mean, either way, when we bid it, we
You know what I'm
can,
saying? Because we already
I would
have.
do phase one, put the
Yeah,
sod
and
down,
out of
and
the
then,
phase one, I would do just
and then the
sod
trees and stuff I would do as
after.
as an after.
And I don't think, yeah,
if I
very
can
after.
remind you that the point behind doing this landscaping is your irrigation. So this is gonna be net new irrigation. So do your whips, do your laterals now. Otherwise, you're gonna be tearing up the sod that you're gonna be putting down. So that's why we did those in tandem.
I got it.
Irrigation
And it is
first
already at
and then-
90%,
then
right?
sod.
The project is already at 90%, the last time they came.
Yes.
So, just, yeah,
I mean, we're talking,
it's gonna be more, because I don't think I asked about that, the reduction, it's minimal.
Irrigation's 2.5 million.
yes, that is, so we have funding in the existing bond for this project. So we, based on the 90% EOPC, we have a shortfall of $2.5 million. Totally skipped over Griffin sidewalk, but that's okay. That, you guys know what that is. The next item, monument upgrades, if you so chose. We've talked about, we're doing branding, we're trying to do minimal improvements, coloring, throw a logo.
This is different
Wait,
than our
wait, wait.
commons
We put that
area.
out here.
What monument upgrades?
Yeah, this is a
They're
different
all
monument
here.
altogether.
It's not
for
in,
the new office.
Correct. All of the,
It's the two, Daniels and Gateway Boulevard?
that one, well, hold on. That one, we're just swapping the logo out. We're doing that now. But
you don't have anything this year for it.
it's for future, but if you're going to do a bond, then you should be considering it as part of your bond.
What do you?
I'll be opposed to.
What's the
I will-
amount? Are you talking about pulling the 500 forward?
It wouldn't, the project wouldn't actually commence next year because of all of the other projects, but if you're gonna borrow a bond, on a bond, you have 3 years to spend that money and do those
Borrow it
projects.
now.
What is your estimated amount for that?
$500,000.
Oh, so that's the 500 you have projected out, but you want to
Yes.
include it in the bond series?
If you chose to do the
Okay.
bond, you should incorporate it now.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
the next line item,
So, I'm sorry,
I have
so you want to
questions.
move that 500,000 up to this year?
no, I don't want to move it because then we do the
Okay.
project, but if you do the bond,
Validation.
You want to include it.
yes,
Get the money for future spending.
Right.
Part of the validation process, right?
not validation,
It's
because
already been validated.
Sorry.
borrowing,
Yeah.
part of the
The
borrowing.
issuance of the bonds to get the money, which is the borrowing.
Okay, let's just take one step back, because this is a surprise to me. I would be totally opposed of putting anything new on those two monuments. And we had this conversation when you painted them. It's a waste of money. Those monuments are falling apart. I
Which ones are
mean,
you talking about?
Daniels and Gateway Boulevard. I would not keep those monuments the way they are and put a new logo in there. It'll be the most embarrassing thing ever. Talk about a pig, lipstick on a pig. And yeah, they are falling apart. Like when you walk there, like you saw when you painted, and my expectation was do some repairs and then you paint it. And that's what I was told. There were no repairs done. They were painted. Within a month, it started raining. We're talking about water pouring out like a pregnant belly, like this much water in between the latex paint coming out. So I would be totally opposed to spending any money putting our new logo in there. It's going to be embarrassing.
And again, this is the one across from the school.
Yeah, the one by
All we're
Gardner.
doing is swapping out the griffin for the broccoli. That is it. Okay,
The
I'm
Griffin
sorry.
ate the broccoli.
The canopy.
The canopy.
Let's
canopy.
change
The canopy.
I mean, I
So again, minimal cost to upgrade and make us match with branding. If you want to do a total,
Yeah, it was also minimal cost to do a horrible job when we painted it. It was minimal cost. It was what, $3,000, and the vendor didn't even stuck up for the warranty issues because I mean.
I guess we need to take a look at it, because
Honestly,
from the street, I can't,
you
it looks
can't
fine.
tell, and then like when I stop there on that light and I see it, and you know, because I'm the first one to send the pictures. Like when I tell you that water, it's pouring out like it's peeing out of the wall after it rains, and there's a bubble this big, not in one area, in multiple areas. You can't do that.
It's rained in a long time, so I don't know.
So the issue.
Give it 3
Same thing
days.
with irrigation. So the issue is that we've got a monument that needs major repair.
Those monuments, and then we always talked about that, and you know, when we took, I mean, this is prior to Chelsea, but there was a monument over here in Gateway and 82 on the middle. We removed that. There was another monument on the bullnose of Gateway Boulevard and Daniels. We removed that because the board at that time was like, look, we had, I think we removed 5. One, two, because we said we have way too many monuments. Let's concentrate and big entrance. So Stony Brook, we have one nice monument there. Griffin and Gateway Boulevard, we have 2. One is in the school property. We know that, so I wouldn't even spend money there. We removed the one that's in the center media, so there's one by Hampton. Do one monument there, or I wouldn't even do it on the sides, to be honest with you. I would do it on the bullnose, something nice on the bullnose. The one that's really important for me that I believe is Gateway Boulevard and Daniels, then you upgrade that. The West Link one, we removed one. We removed one across from Gateway Greens. I don't know if you remember. And then we have
We're
just
planning
one.
on
So yeah, we
remove-
removed about 5.
well, when we're planning
Because
on
they're not that bad
removing
shape.
the one by JetBlue. We
And
are-
I
we're-
agree with that one. That's underneath the oak tree.
Yeah,
That
nobody
yeah.
knows is there.
Can't even see that.
So those
So-
are the things. Like if we're removing all of those, I'm okay waiting another year for us to get the money and upgrade those 2 monuments. And if we have to remove the 2 ones on Griffin and 82, do so. Because I know you don't spend a lot of money. Half of the time they get damaged by the people that does the lighting when they put 50 screws to screw the stuff. So
Well,
it's
the decision is, if we have a new brand standard and you're implementing that brand standard, it's really not in good practice to be running multiple brands at the same time. So you either need to do it, either you need to do what Chelsea's doing and just a quick swap out until we budget for a full remodel next year, or you go ahead, pull it up and change it out, because you
How
don't
big a
want to
deal
have
is it
one.
to remove it? I mean, the
I
ones
would
that
have
we're
put,
talking,
I would have put
just
it
take them
out
out.
because look, so we're going to put the new logo there, but is the expectation that the new logo also gonna go in Griffin, and is the expectation that the
As,
new logo?
as budget becomes available, yes.
So are we
You see
talking
what I'm
about?
saying? It's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
all
you
at
should do
once.
it all at once.
So that, so you're, to me, I would,
Well, the
cost saving, I would have removed those two.
The difference is that one is, it's on the monument. Those are engraved over there. That's the big difference. So,
Are we talking about moving that 500,000 up a year or two?
sure, if you, but part of it is,
That's the cost?
Yeah.
That's the cost for two monuments, 500,000?
I put, this was just a placeholder for a project. If you chose to go through with a bond,
How much was it, how much is the monument that we're gonna put, isn't it $75,000, the monument that we're gonna put in that new admin building?
Yes.
Okay, so I will look at
300?
something similar, it doesn't have to be equal like that, but yeah, I would say 100 in each. If that one is 75,000 with
Okay.
lighting and everything else,
So you're at 1,
500.
2, 3,
I wouldn't do that. First, that is not our property. So I would do one small at the bull nose, if any, on Griffin and 82. That's it, something very small like, and then focus your on the entrance of the Gateway and Boulevard. You're not gonna do anything by Pelican.
2 at Daniels, Stony Brook, 1 or 2 up here.
Stony Brook, we said that that's where we're gonna keep it. That would just put the
Correct,
logo.
but it has a griffin on it, and we would need to go to the canopy. So
See that.
the dollar, my point in this is the dollar amount we can adjust, but if
It's not
you,
gonna be 500, but you're saying put that placeholder in.
as
and
is part of
that's
the new
fine.
bond.
Alright.
And then remove the ones that are no longer needed.
I think we should remove a few more. I know I've been removing, I don't think we should spend any money.
Well, staff is
piecemeal it.
gonna try to remove, when we get time, to remove the one at JetBlue, that's the plan, just so you're aware. So, we've already got the FPL meter off, and we're not being billed for it anymore, so that was one benefit. So this was, again, another project, a new bond
Why
opportunity.
don't you start just getting some quotes on that?
Yeah.
And getting some ideas so we can.
Well, I didn't even want to go down that path if the new bond discussion wasn't going to come to fruition. Because if it's not in the new bond, it's in a short-term 5-year borrowing, or it's part of the assessment. And historically, we've done long-term
Bond.
borrowings on this.
Bond, I'll say
Definitely
bond.
bond.
The next item is tree line,
sidewalk.
where we know what that project is. The next one, now, I put this in, we haven't really discussed this. We did.
Stony Brook adjustable weir.
We applied for a grant. Stony Brook has been susceptible to flooding with events, and hiring Tetra Tech to engineer and provide some.
Wait a minute, are we just talking and making it an adjustable weir?
Yes.
You go in there, when you have a dry period like we have right now, you cut out about 2 feet
Right.
of the weir, and then you put in a steel plate that goes up and down with a
And a
crank.
screw.
And you're done. I mean, it's not one like 25, 30 feet wide. This is a small opening.
Well, there's engineering that has to be done. There's permits that have to be
I
adjusted.
understand, but I mean, we're not talking $750,000. No way.
Okay, that's the number I got from Tetra Tech. I can go back to them and ask what that updated number was. That's the number we applied for
I have a
as a
feeling what
grant.
they're talking about is a new structure. My deal is,
Like they
why,
did on, 4.
why do you
4 and
need a
5.
new structure? All you need to do is cut out the weir itself, just drop it down 2 feet, put a steel metal plate that's adjustable weir, and you're done.
Do you agree with the project and concept?
Well, if
The
they're having,
number I can come back to.
if
I'm
they're,
not
Yes,
sure
it
we even
ne- it
need it
needs-
myself.
if they're having problems because the water level is fixed, which it is, you either take and put an adjustable weir, or you take and put to the side a emergency overflow bypass. Either or.
Again,
It's not.
Weir seems like overkill to me.
the issue
A weir
is,
seems like overkill for the problem.
Well,
Water gets
a weir is easier to do and control, much easier. If you put in an overflow, you've got to set an elevation of what you're going to set it at.
Have you ever had water in a home, Doug? Or just in the streets?
In the streets, I don't think it's.
In
I
the
think
streets,
I
that's
think
what,
it's
it
came to
means it's
drive.
working like it's supposed to.
Well, no, but it's not just in the streets. We get.
Up to the driveway.
Up to the driveway, but the problem is, when it floods in the streets, it's pretty deep around, like almost insurpassable.
But hasn't gone into a home. If it hasn't gone into a home,
It's not going
if
into
it
a
hasn't
home.
gone into a home, then it's functioning as designed.
That is the only neighborhood since I have been here that has worse, well, worse than Pelican, that we hear outcries every single time that there's a major rain event.
Unlike the rest of it,
And
Bob,
concerns with life safety.
well, the issue is our other ones have alternative gates that we can upload.
I would
They
not,
got
I
nothing
would not
over
do
there.
that. I'd say if there's a cheaper route, but literally just to drop it when needed, because
Okay, so in concept, it's to have some relief for that weir. I can go back into Tetra Tech and say, hey, give me a very reasonably priced alternative that we could accomplish relatively easy.
Adjustable aluminum weir, it's all you need.
Retrofit.
Retrofit.
I like that, Laura.
But it does require you to cut the concrete down.
I'm thinking it's about if I can run my truck into those monument signs tonight. So that's all it's in my mind.
Okay.
Okay.
I will go back to Tetra Tech and work through that with them. My next question is, we're still in final cleaning of Basin 4 of the stormwater system, which is the final cleaning. I don't know what repairs, if any, will be warranted because we have part of Gateway Greens, we have all of Hampton Park and a little bit of Stony Brook, but I put a TBD. So until we can finish the basin cleaning, I don't know if there will be any repairs, but it is a Achilles heel.
The camera's going through all the pipes, is that what this is? Okay.
So but you do have this as a 26 item? It's not a TBD in 28 or 29, it's
Correct.
in 26.
Because we're
Or 27.
we're anticipating the cleaning to be completed this year. And hopefully with the findings of that CCTVing, we'll know how many repairs that will need to be made.
What was our experience on the earlier?
We did have some repairs, not a substantial,
major?
not major. And I don't anticipate a lot of major on this one because Hampton Park is a newer community.
I think so far it's like less than 50,000 we spent
Yeah.
on repairs.
Yeah.
So,
But again, it's a TBD. If you're gonna do a bond, this would be the time to do it.
If it's under 100,000, O&M might be able to handle it.
And then the infamous aerators. And the next item after that is the remaining 21 ponds. We are working on getting grants on that. We just submitted the Tetra Tech 100% design to HMGP, and we're trying to get that 100% funded with grants. But again, it is a project that's on the list that there is a funding that there will be in some form or fashion.
I'm surprised the aerators don't
But
qualify
that
for
wouldn't,
grants.
that wouldn't be the new bond. It's already there. You already have the money, you already identified it.
No.
No.
Well, with ponds, we've always done SRF funding.
Yeah.
the current bond has some funds in it for point bank repairs, but it does not have big dollars to do actual pond repairs.
That's why under the either bond capital or SRF, this says TBD.
Yeah.
This is more of a tracking mechanism of, hey, this is an active project we have a grant for. We're working to get it all grant funded, but if we have a susceptible area, we're going to have a 25% match, which that is the 25% match.
Oh.
Which we could pursue SRF, but again, it's just for purposes of painting being transparent with our projects. We have potentially $2.9 million. The goal is to get grants. I will wait as long as I have to get a grant. So.
I do have one question.
Are there any
Just
Pelican
one.
bonds in that 21, excuse me?
No, Pelican has its own grant. It's
Different source, okay.
it's 2 years behind. That's Ian money. Pelican's money is from Milton. So.
All right.
Pelican's on their own page, so.
So for projects in theory of new bond, I just wanted to make sure that you all were on the same page for this.
And do you really feel that we need a Kubota? a new one, because, it says for wetland inspection, you can't drive that into the wetland, so it's really for pond inspection.
It's pond inspection.
Okay.
There's a misnomer there.
I was like.
We will correct
I
that.
was like.
You ought to use the drone.
I was like,
Well,
Following what
use
the
the
club
drone.
does.
yeah, right, well, so that's the thing, like 23 grand, but, currently we have what, 3 or 2 Kubotas? 3?
I'd have to go out there and
They're,
look.
they're out most of the time. We had talked, I questioned it as well for exactly that reason. And I was told that if the person who is, well, at the time, the stormwater person, that she preferred that over a truck. That she would rather have the Kubota to be zooming around out there to do her pond stuff.
And then we would take that truck and use that as a surplus?
Somewhere else, yeah.
It's for Public Works.
Yeah,
to
because they need
haul the
her.
new trailer.
Yes, because it's a bigger truck and that's a vehicle that they need to be able to pull the new trailer.
So to your guys' point about taking items in-house.
Yeah.
On smaller rock, stone replacement, we have done that in-house.
But okay, so thank you for this, because it clarified more. So staff felt like they could have done their job better by using the Kubota to go around the pond. Okay. And I'm gonna look for that for you. Once you're doing that, you're gonna miss a lot of spots. There is no better way than you have to walk the pond. And they don't have, the expectation is that they're not walking the pond, because they were never walking every single pond every time. But you're gonna get more issues, because you're gonna miss it. The reason why is because even when our vendor is taking care of it and is on the Kubota, you missed it. It's normal. When I'm driving that thing, you do miss it. So I'm inclined to say that you don't need it. Now they're gonna be start looking at easements, where they can go in, where they can go out. And if it's for the pond only, like, I'm almost thinking like, oh, if it's Parks and Recs, because now we're gonna have more things and back and forth, I'm all for it.
You could hire
For
a
ponds.
position for that.
For ponds, I mean, we already have that. This is part of her job. So usually if there's an issue, and that's how, we always did, even when we did ponds group, you go into a pond, you park in front of a sewer drain in a house, you walk 3 houses, you come back and you drive 20 more houses, you park. That's how you do it. You kind of have to do that way. Driving, to drive in the circumference of the linear part of the pond, it's not gonna help, it's not gonna do anything easier. Wetland, you can't even do it. So you're really buying this for ponds, and I just don't think it's necessary. Now, would I think we could use this for Parks and Rec? Absolutely.
We have one dedicated one for Parks and Rec already.
So that's, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Parks and Rec, we're gonna need it back and forth, because they are. I see them a lot. I see them going to the FPL.
You're actually gonna end up needing 2, because you're gonna have
So
more than one person Parks and Rec at a time.
I would have taken this for Parks, we have 3 already, so we would have 5.
You gain an awful lot by walking the pond.
You do. You will miss a lot more, and, yeah.
You start stumbling
Under
and
Parks
falling.
and Rec,
because-
you have one budgeted right now.
Yeah, so I almost will cut this one, the Kubota. That's my suggestion, if the board is, cut this one.
I don't have a feeling, one way or the other.
I would like to leave it for high water and have further conversations with staff.
Just put a side note so I don't forget, but I will say cut that.
We can do that.
Okay.
And we'll address we're not going in conservation areas with the Kubota.
I already took that out of the note.
All right. Any questions about those? Continuing on.
He's writing notes.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to write and scroll and
Skip this
I
one.
only got 2 eyeballs.
Can we come back to this one?
Keep it.
My opinion is we're not ready even to talk about this
Yeah.
until somebody can come up with, which appears to be about $300,000 somehow, some way. This dog isn't gonna
I'll
hunt.
tell you what my position is on this, because the more I keep looking at this, the more I keep looking at it, and as much as I want to do some of the stuff, I think we eliminate the sod replacement altogether. My priorities are the lights and the parking.
And just so you know, I'm waiting on a second price for lighting, which when they gave me their dog and pony show said that they will drastically beat their competitors and still have do it on a piggybackable contract. So I'm waiting for that when I return from PTO next week.
All I wanted is a hurricane to take all those lights out. Fire insurance claim.
Be careful what you wish for.
I am totally okay. The hurricane can just,
Because, you know,
the hurricane can just be in a soccer complex, take everything down,
and
we
here's
get
my
brand new
theory
everything.
on this.
Go wrap them all up.
I think if we're operating now, if we're, right now, I know they had mentioned 37%, but we're operating at what percentage today?
We're close to about, in fiscal '25, we recovered about 40%.
40%. So we are not going to get closer to that by spending more money. I don't care if it's a bond, whatever.
It's $1.
It's $1.
Well, if we could go through the capital items, because some of these are aiding in.
Let's go down line item like we did before,
Okay.
and then we'll
So,
strike.
Pool vacuums,
They had not been replaced for a while, and we are constantly repairing them, so, yeah, they're nickel and diming us.
soccer goals, we're trying to do a handful of those each year. I think we do like 5 a year. The big thing is a digital community billboard.
Where are we talking about putting that? Out front here?
Again.
Crack is trying to find funding for that, or?
What's this billboard going to do?
Advertise events, and it could be a
and
sponsor board and a revenue
I put
generator.
a star by that, like, okay, I understand it, but if push comes to shove.
Well, it's theirs right now, so let's,
Yeah.
let them run.
Okay.
Parks and Rec Kubota.
So the Kubota is for Parks and Rec roving patrols. And then we have a zero-turn mower to do, to do some of the, or is that's a,
Zero turn.
yeah, so some of the aprons and stuff to try to take some of those services in-house. Those are and then PrAC, you gave them 200,000 to figure out, which they are going to be coming to you at the next board meeting, for what they're proposing to use their pot of money for.
And is that potential like band shell or whatever?
Whatever. Bond money.
What?
PrAC.
No, you said their money, some kind of money.
We should pond.
Didn't mean
I
to,
think
so
you
I
said
got
pool.
distracted,
Pool.
sorry.
That's what I thought, that's what I
Pool,
thought.
they're
I was gonna say,
pool,
what-
not like okay, bad example.
We're giving them a budget to use.
You guys gave them 200,000 and said, come
Authorize
up
them
with
to have
something.
some spending
Yes.
authority.
Yep. So those are the capital items. The rest is new bond, which again, you guys don't want to talk about, which is fine.
Okay, that's parking, that makes sense.
I would agree with Doug, I would have waited on the sod.
And the common
Given-
amenities is what? This is
To the right, it's the natural, where's it at? The sod, the parking lot, and then,
Where do you leave this?
oh, comments?
You're talking the.
Oh, those are all yeah, you can see in the notes on the side, sorry.
All right, so we could trim.
So you have your 200,000 for the perimeter fence on Gateway, along Gateway Boulevard. Dog park, again, I don't have actual numbers. You guys tasked us to do that, so we'll do that.
But we're switching directions here because the dog park, if we look at fun park,
I know,
then that price, that
Correct.
dollar amount be adjusted, correct?
correct, yes. I
Think we could use the fencing and just put it over there?
I doubt it.
I think it's in bad shape too.
I'm working out the pricing on the Zoysia. We kind of had a pulse check. Flavia was in my office prepping for the interview the other day, but kind of I know the intent, and maybe I can just ask for further clarification from the board. When you voted to do Zoysia across the entire Commons parcel, I think I interpreted the intent as like lawn, green space, not the little islands in between the parking stalls. That can be our standard palmetto. So there was a pulse check that I'm working through with Mainscape on that. So to the left and right of the building, we have kind of a large open space that would be nice to have nice zoysia, clean, not the palmetto, kind of hard to sit in. And then obviously down by the pond, the big what would be event lawn, have that as zoysia in the event that it's
I
just
agree with
open
that.
green space.
I think we had a good.
Any
choice.
area.
So I thought that the idea behind that choice was, so when we get done with the building and everything that's been approved so far, if we did nothing else, there would at least be a park-like feel to the rest of the property so people could just walk there or sit there or whatever. It would still look like a park. I
Wouldn't look
thought that
lacking.
was the whole
It
idea.
wouldn't look like something was missing.
Correct.
Yes.
And if at that point we did nothing more, it could just stay that way for a number of years until
Maintain
whatever.
it.
So ultimately.
So I thought that was the idea behind it.
And yes, the question is, do we put the palmetto, do we put the zoysia? And the zoysia is more of a go lay down and watch clouds, the band shell, have a picnic.
Which one is less susceptible to the virus, that lethal necrosis virus?
Palmetto and citron blue. Citron blue is more expensive, palmetto is cheaper.
But they're both resistant to the
Zoysia,
drought?
yeah.
Zoysia is as well, just a different type of
If you're gonna
maintenance.
talk about using it for setting and that type of stuff, zoysia is a lot more amenable to
Durable.
that.
Yeah.
It's not like sitting on floor tan.
So I'm
you feel like
waiting.
you're in with the bugs.
I'm waiting on that price. That's why you don't see a number next to that. Again, depending on what you choose to do, if you want to do any future phases, the band shell thing we've kind of thrown around a couple times. The food truck parking lot, we know how much a parking lot's gonna cost because we're working on getting one permitted. So again, these are just kind of placeholders. If you want to contemplate future, whatever it may be at the Commons, we can work on getting some better numbers, but that's a placeholder.
Let me ask you, so the Commons is gonna have playground equipment, right?
Yes.
And we're sunsetting the fun park playground equipment. Are we gonna sunset this playground equipment here? Cause that's $300,000.
That's your choice. You tell me.
I think you have to have a playground here.
What I would,
You got thousands of kids here. That playground
what I
gets
would
used.
suggest, and what we've talked about, is this playground equipment. So you have, with playground equipment, you have
Like the age.
the ages. So this would be a younger,
Well, but what I would consider
swings would go
is,
away.
because here's the problem you have. You have, you have kids who are participating in, that are on the field practicing. They've got brothers and sisters. They have to go somewhere. And they go over to the playground. What you need is just an alternative space for them to go. I have said for years and years and years that that playground space it's fine for, if you're gonna keep it closed in like that, it's fine for younger kids, because it's fenced in. Or you open it up, because basically no one uses that pavilion because it's cut off from everything. You have to walk all the way around. It's completely underutilized. I'd much rather, if you could pick it up and put it in front of the concession stand, it'd be great, because it would be a covered area. Or you open the back of the playground up when the bocce court eventually gets sunset, and then you just continue the fencing around the pavilion, so that opens up that whole area, and then it becomes functional. You've got a playground, you've got a pavilion, and you've got another extended space for play. I would just maybe think about how to best
Reconfigure,
utilize
yeah.
that space for what we're gonna need it, what it's used for, which is overflow for kids. And a lot of parents come here just so their kids can play in that playground area, and during, let's say, the summer, or when there's no practice, they go right in the front fields and they kick around, they, throw a frisbee or fly a kite or whatever.
So again, placeholder, plugged it in. We're thinking about it. Are you thinking about it? Is this something, if you're gonna do a new bond, do you do that? Except so on and so
Playground
forth.
equipment, for whatever reason, is super expensive. I
just
don't
bought it.
understand
$80,000
why
and ours
it's
is
so
so
expensive.
Liability.
And the service life is not.
It's like $100,000 for
Nothing.
a circular
Liability.
rope that makes a net. I mean, it's crazy.
And so one of the things, part of that is that we did learn is, like swings, you have to have the fall area, and so that takes up so much space. So do away with swings immediately. So again, these are all just kind of thoughts, placeholder.
Yeah, it's utilizing the area, because again, swings, they're a single use,
It's one person per
one
seat.
person, maybe two if someone's pushing it, but it does take up a lot of space.
Waiting on the update from the lights. pricing.
Oh, wait, when you talk about cameras, do we have cameras on the fields here?
Not on, but enough that we can see kind of.
Can I see if hypothetically.
I'll show you after.
A Sunday afternoon, can I see if someone's on field 5?
You cannot, I can.
Okay, but staff has access, so
Yes.
we can look and see. There's 20 people on field 5, and it's not reserved.
You know what I do? I call her all the time. I'm like, Chelsea. She goes, hold on, Flavia, let me look at the camera. I'm like, there's a bunch of people here. So we do that. Or sometimes she'll say, hey, Flavia, there's something going on because I'm close, so.
Lights at the pool, again, an option, added service, extended hours. The sod, we talked about the sod, the parking lot, potential banner. Pavilions at the soccer complex, replacing roofs, playground equipment at Sherman, and then additional security cameras at the Commons, which we did not account for security cameras at the Commons, like out. We have them at the building, but not like out.
We don't have them on the
other
on the amenities?
No. So that would be an added new.
Well, cameras can't be that expensive.
Depends on-
Good cameras are.
They can be. Yeah.
Good cameras are
Yeah.
not cheap.
If you're going to have Comcast or somebody time in on a system, be about $3,000, $3,200 each.
Well, yeah, I mean.
All right, any questions about those? All right, moving on. This is one I had a question for, the fence along the frontage of Gateway Boulevard at the Commons. This could go to admin, this could go to parks, it's kind of, but we did get a proposal,
How much does a Pelican pay in the biggest portion? Put it in that category.
Well, the answer would be admin. But,
oh, gee, look at that.
and then eventually the generator here, Bill has told me
it's limping along.
It's limping.
Is that the generator that we use, station 13 that?
No, the one for this building.
No, that was a whole different situation.
Thanks, yeah.
I don't know where this would be, but at some point, we'll have the new building. And there is.
Karen's gonna ask that question in a minute, so.
And then we had renovations scheduled for this building, right?
Well, we're not really. I mean, just kind of leave it as is and turn this into lockable air conditioned.
Climate controlled storage.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't have, I just want to make sure that
No.
we don't have anything budgeted for this building at all. Okay.
Take the doors, limited access, and lock it up. Well, the only other thing that would need to be to this facility is make that gate automatic out front, which I got a price on a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, and it was like 10 grand to make it automatic. So that would be truthfully between that and the generator, because this generator, I mean, in order to see in the event of emergency,
What were you planning to do with this room?
climate controlled storage for the brass.
So what are the employees? I thought they were going to be using this building.
Ops, this more converts into storage. And
So
like tools.
no, so the building, so so utility 1 and 2 field people, they'll stay here.
There's
still
no
here.
climate
Yeah.
control across that building?
No, it's just a warehouse.
A hot box.
Yes,
Steel
very
shell.
hot.
This is
Hot box.
climate controlled storage room.
Rent it out for groups.
So for the fence along the Gateway Boulevard, again, that would be new
More like
bond.
divorces, because it's so small.
Rent it out.
That would be new bond. That's the only thing we had. And then Pelican has proposed all of their stuff.
Okay.
So I think that summarizes the capital.
Pelican's putting everything in their operating budgets.
Yes.
I even put that on here.
I saw that. I liked it. I
So
didn't comment.
if you'd like to start to go into
Well, that's
the
a good
O and
comment,
M,
it's
I will
nice.
turn it over to Laura.
A room for board meetings.
This has been corrected. This is, well, let's just do this.
Not like she said it's big, correct?
You miss lunch?
No, it's for Ed. Ed is hungry. Why, like I said, I do this diet at home, then I get here and I just eat everything.
Okay, so this is
Hand it
my
back,
live
Ed. I
working
might take
copy.
some for kids.
My keyboard over.
So what, I'm sorry, what are we looking at now? We're looking, this is
This
the
is
O and
the
M budget.
allocation of shared costs for administration.
The, Laura, at
This
the
has
top
been
where you got the
fixed.
50/50, go up a little.
Yeah, this has been fixed.
What is the actual within that general fund in Pelican?
With the exception of staff, it is 33% general fund and 17 Pelican, same as this list, same as, it per the assessment methodology.
Methodology.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you pay a third of half, which is
But I
17%.
just didn't remember.
Just not
I don't know if you could
staff.
put it in there under
Yeah.
17, but
No, that gets actually broken out when you go to your tab. So, but like, with the exception of the things that are highlighted in this like beigey yellowy color, that is not broken out this way. That is based on the allocations of the percentage of staff working in whatever area. So anything that's white follows this breakout.
So it's the general fund and Pelican Preserve, is that 3317?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that gets broken out on theirs. I tried to condense it to keep it to 2 columns instead of 3. So half of it goes to enterprise and the remaining half is split 33% to general and 17 to the Pelican.
can you recall off the top of your head what the staff changes?
No. It'll be when we get onto your tab, it'll show it. Oh, these are all pretty well set. Any questions on any of the stuff on here? There are some things with like the internet fiber service where I don't know why that was a separate line. We're just consolidating that into telephone, fax, internet.
What's the $10,000 for a special audit? What's the special audit?
That was what we had to do for the SRF loans and we had to pay that extra this year. So the two $5,000 extra, they're called like one-time audit or single use,
audit.
single
It's a
audits.
single
Yeah.
audit act, yeah.
Yeah. So we have 2 of them and they're $5,000 each. So that's what that's for. Because since we spent it this year, I budgeted for it next year because if we did it once, we got to do it every year.
I had a question on the administration shared. Why are telephone and fax going up from?
Because we have a new building, and with the new building, we are having redundant internet to make sure that we do not ever go offline. And the internet that we got here was very, very, very cheap. I cannot even come remotely close to that kind of pricing for the new building. I've been working on it for 8 months. And that's why. So we'll have internet here and we'll have internet at the admin building, but like right now, this building, we share our internet with the pump house out back and all the facilities across the street share our internet connection here. And then at the new building, we'll be doing the same thing. All of the internet will run to the admin building and we'll beam our internet over to all the facilities, including the pool and any of the areas out in the commons. So we're getting rid of the internet at the pool. We're getting rid of the internet at the flop, but the internet that I'm getting is more than what we were paying for those 2 facilities. So that's why.
59 to 3,000, that's a pretty
Yeah,
good increase.
it was not, that is very good pricing. I said I've been working on this for probably between 6 to 8 months. I've been working on pricing and deals and contracts and trying to figure out what we need. But because of the way the internet is here, we've found that generally, very rarely, knocking on all the wood, are Lumen and Comcast both down at the same time. Usually one is up and one is down. And we have Lumen here, which is almost always up. We have Comcast at the other building, which is not so great, but we're getting a different type of Comcast service at the other building, but that'll be my backup internet. So no matter what happens, we should have internet at the other building. Because if one or the other goes down, it'll automatically just flip to whatever one, the other service, so.
Did they make this for you? This,
But that's why it went
Yeah.
up. Okay, and we have to beam, so I need a little bit higher speed to be able to share it.
I know, I think you and I
I
talked
can
about
see
it
it.
a while back.
Nobody makes me
But-
this stuff.
Collier County has switched all of their weather surveying over to Thor. It's a new system.
We haven't talked about that.
Okay, so, but it's a lightning service weather system called Thor. it's something we should probably look into. The difference is, traditional systems, when it goes off, it gives you 10 mile, and then you have to wait 30 minutes until the last strike within that 10 mile. The Thor system reads it based on, it's a different measuring system. So there could be a strike within 10 miles, but if it doesn't, strike ground, or if I can't remember all the specifics, but the minute that it's clear, like, you don't have to wait 30 minutes. It would tell you when it's all clear. So it's a more proactive,
robust
system, but it's Thor, Thor.
It lays the hammer.
Got a thunder.
Yeah.
Hammer absorbs a lightning strike.
I mean, we can always hire someone to be on top of the village.
But the reason I'm bringing that up is not only for here, but with the commons, we will need.
We have it
We
at
have it
the
at the
pool.
pool.
We already have it at the pool.
We have
I'm
it.
here at the pool
We
at my
have,
house.
we have two. We have one at the pool and one
Oh, we
here.
have one soccer here, I think,
Yeah,
right here
we
too.
have, yeah, we have it.
Oh, you know what, I hear the school too. I hear a lot, because I hear at the high school, which is next door to me, I hear the soccer field. And then I hear the elementary
I'll look into
school. Yeah, I hear a lot, and they're usually like off by like a minute.
Okay, any other questions on this? All right, so then I think
Wait, go
What?
back. This pink thing right there.
Oh, that was for Sherry. I just need to make sure that the 10,000 is enough to cover what we need to do, because people have required
No,
trainings.
I thought this was that lady that used to come for us, remember?
No, no, no,
I realized that this is our employee Sherry. So, yeah.
Okay. This one, I think we've already kind of beat to death. This is the Parks and Rec one. We've gone over this, but
let's.
we'll look at it here. So again, this part up here is based on allocation, so the stuff in the tan, so we start here. Based on, right now, Pelican is getting 7.1%, and then the general fund is getting 92.9%. That calculation is derived from the shares, from the assessment methodology tabs I have over here for each of the areas. So as that sheet updates, these percentages update and it goes back and forth. So that's what they paid in 26 also, was 7.1% of the total. So again, that doesn't apply to here. That's just everything below. So this is all, we had the security services like you had talked about, so that would be for someone to be roving around like at night to do a third shift patrol. That was something that the board had discussed last year. I looked at what we're paying right now for Wiser, and it's basically $23 an hour. So I figured 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, 365 days a year. That's what it comes out to. So
The fun park, okay.
So these were, I didn't update this after you had your discussion, so we have a question here to sunset this. So if we're gonna sunset that, I can take that out.
Yeah, do you need a motion to sunset the dog park?
Let me work through the numbers, but yeah, we will.
Because we can sunset the dog park, and then you can come up with,
Well,
I don't need numbers,
it would
and
be
you can
a-
come up with the dates.
It would
Because
be
they already paid for it, so.
that if you chose to sunset it, we would stop effective today issuing any new dog
would.
passes. Because then,
Until
The move
until the move is viable. But the reason why I think it might be important, because there's a window here. If we do decide it is viable and we're gonna move, if we can sunset the dog park and we agree on the parking there, that's something that we can move on during the summer while there's
Yes.
nobody there, and then we gain that impact
this fall,
Yes, this fall, yeah.
as long as I
So
get.
that's a window.
That's a short window, and
Yeah.
it should do not. So I'm up, yes.
It's in for permits. I'm just gonna.
Well, I know, but we
Asterisk.
don't control that, but.
And you have to determine the funding. Second asterisk.
You're talking about the parking for the soccer deal?
Is it 500,000, right?
Parking where the dog park is right now.
He's gonna say the dog's not gonna hunt, say it.
I'm totally opposed to it. I mean, that thing is dead. We just are not recognizing it. It's already had its last rites. There's nobody's going to come up with $300,000. No way. And I'm not going to vote to spend $3 million and put it on our owners for 10 to 20 years on a bond when nobody's there to use it.
What are we talking about?
Capital at the park, which would be drainage, sod.
I don't think we're talking about
No,
doing
we're
that
not
at
talking
all.
about the same, we're not talking about the same thing.
We're just talking about parking.
Parking, we're talking about getting the dog park?
Yeah, but I thought
So
you
this
said
is the
after
fun-
after
this-
it leaves, after you change it, you're gonna go ahead with the, parking.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be no $3 million.
It's 500, what is it?
The Tetra Tech EOPC is a $500,000.
$500,000.
Do the parking
That's
lot.
part of the $3 million of total that a
I
soccer
don't
program is
wanna
gonna
spend that.
continue.
I don't think we invest $1 right now in
mean,
resodding. I think we simplify to doing lights and doing the parking lot, and that's all we do, at least right now.
I'm in
We
line
put-
with that.
We
Just
table,
because
and then
look-
we manage it the best we can, we oversee,
Look,
we
we're
do
trying
whatever
to
we
raise it.
can.
We're trying to get the money to cover the operating costs of what's existing and look at what we're having to deal with it. And that's why for me, I don't want to spend any.
1.3, I think, is the investment, that's for the parking and for the lights.
Well, I'm hoping the lighting will come down based on an updated number.
So if we can get that closer
Down
to
by hurricane, it'll come down cost.
And that, investing that little bit, and that's not a lot, that's not a little bit, but that, I think,
It's
still
less than
gets
half,
us,
yeah.
and we will do, I mean, I'm not gonna, and we do a increase. I think that still gets us around 50%, and with some of the initial revenue gains, I think that puts us at least in a better position. I just don't see how we can spend $3 million and
you're at
not
five-
price everyone out.
If you're, forget the capital, if you're at 574 right now, and that number's factual, okay? And we're shooting for 75%. 75%.
75%, I think, is very aggressive.
No,
$450,000.
574, it is Parks and Recs, it's not just soccer.
I'm sorry.
574, it's all, it's not soccer. You want just a soccer complex expenses.
Yeah, what I'm trying to just get to is, what are the actual, we've said 574. I don't know that number is factual. Is it factual? Where'd that come from? Does it include capital? If it includes capital, then we need to get that out of there.
We just need, you want just operating maintenance for the Sherman
What's the
Soccer
operation
Complex.
What's our cost to operate and maintain that soccer facility? What's our cost?
Laura should be able to pull that up.
I'll have that.
And then
yeah.
have, in addition to that, because if that's got some capital in it, then what component of it could be used for the debt retirement of a bond?
That's what she prepared for
It
me.
was $574,000 if that is purely O&M. And they're putting in $167,000 now, and they have to get between 50 and 75, that's 450. That's more than double the revenue they got to come up with, and I'm not hearing anything that says it's going to happen. Nothing.
Laura, did the 574 number come from you? Okay, so you know, you're the one that created that total. Did it contain capital or not?
The 574 was with capital. There,
Was
it's
with
higher,
capital?
it's some capital, but not the big projects. It wasn't like the $3 million.
How hard is it just to pull those soccer, just the soccer operating and maintenance?
Is the one that you
I
provided?
can't do it right now, but I can do it, yeah.
Is the one that you provided me, that I provided Matt, is that accurate? The one that's. in
That
the
does not include any wages, and because of the way some of the stuff is classified, I had to take a swag at how much of it was
So
soccer.
it's not.
Well,
okay.
see, what I'm trying to get
It's,
to is-
I would say
In
minus
between-
wages, it's probably 98% soccer, correct. I mean, there's wages missing from it.
Okay, so why don't we put this off to the next meeting? Because let's get the actual numbers in front of us, all labeled, so we know what's capital, what's operating, and go from there.
Not only that, but what is for 50% and 75% investment by them? What are those numbers? So that we know to tell them, guys, you're putting in 167, you need to make it 330, you need to make it 340, whatever. We need an answer from them that are they going to turn around and raise their rates to be able to do that? I didn't hear that tonight at all. In fact, I've heard they're at their limit right now at going to the $137, $167, whatever the number was. That's it. That was not what I wanted to hear.
Laura?
They don't understand that we got people here that don't want to spend anything for that. Nothing.
Yeah, but then, but
Yeah,
again.
other people will spend everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
But-
we're
but-
trying to be, we're trying to meet in the middle and say what's reasonably and what's.
Well,
what's
my
responsible.
question is, on the sheet that's on the screen, is different than the sheet that Georgia printed. So was this major revised with highlights
Is
and
that?
stuff?
I have no idea what you're looking at.
I got it from you.
Oh, yes, because it has the highlighted items, is items that we
This
talked on
one's
the.
not highlighted.
Because we talked on the workshop at 2:00, so that's why they're highlighted.
That's
on
the
this.
real-time updates.
Are you looking at the allocation page or are you looking at the actual
I'm looking at
budget?
whatever you gave me. This is what came for the meeting.
I'm on the allocation
Page number,
page.
Bob.
Doesn't have page numbers.
Oh, this doesn't have,
It's got a
What-
date.
Mine's
It's got a
got page
revision.
numbers.
It's got the same items, but the numbers are different.
I think
and
this
it's
is
not
real-time.
highlighted.
I think this is
Yeah,
real-time
it is,
updates.
because that's how she has the first
what you're looking at is probably like 01 or 02 and not.
When did you get that, Bob?
Page.
Is that 001?
Yeah, that's why, because you're only looking at what's
You
in
don't-
this column.
I'm only looking at what you gave me.
Here, hold on, right here. You gotta go back, right here.
You gotta look at the whole
There you
thing.
go.
Does it say
But you know
Parks
what
and
is
Rec?
eye-opening for, I could see that was eye-opening for the residents and the people in attendance, and I do love when the room is full. I mean, I have to say it.
I know.
When
Try not to.
I support,
I asked for
I'll be the
pages,
first
but
one to
yes.
support no increase for nothing. But somebody's gonna pay for the increase, so that means that they will pay on their taxes, on their, you know what I mean? I think that's
Deer in the headlights is what you saw.
right, because I'm thinking like, okay, if we're not gonna raise it here, no big deal. Same thing with parking. If we didn't do the $2 parking, that money would have just be an increased raise for the leagues or for the residents. It's only 3 buckets, and I think once I said that, I can tell you that there were 4 or 5 like, oh.
Well, I mean,
What I
yeah,
don't think they understand is
I have
that
to pay
parking
for it.
That parking revenue that's being generated by this deal that we did is they're going to contribute to their share of meeting that objective. If you
Right.
don't do that, then you're gonna have to come up with more.
The website for Gateway Flag says the fee for the young ones is $149 plus a $45 additional fee, level 2 background at 10, and Sherman location facility surcharge of $35. That's on their website.
Yes,
So
that's what I
what-
said, it's, what
What's one
we're
ninety-
charging them, and again, these, you know, I don't wanna, I'm not trying to throw the leagues under the bus, but
They've already baked
our
it in.
percentage that they pay us
It's so
is
little.
30%.
Okay, so 147
If
plus
their
35
average is
plus
$180 to
45?
play, whether flag or
149
soccer,
plus 45.
$180,
227.
No,
and
149 plus
we're
45,
$40.
194.
If this 574 is the number and they're paying 180
No,
right now.
574 is not the number. It's less than that. The O&M for the soccer field that 574 includes all Parks and Rec.
No, no, all Parks and Rec is 1.9 million.
Right.
No, but the 574
Included some capital.
included
It was some of the
capital.
smaller capital projects, but not the big irrigation lights.
194.
It was
and they
more
have
once I added
five-
that
That's
in.
why I wanted it separated, so
Yeah.
you see exactly what it
Percentage
is.
of 35.
That took it over 700,000 by the time I added in the
Time you add in
20-year
capital
for
with
$3
a
million.
10-year, $3 million
I did
deal,
20
You're gonna be
years.
close to 800,000.
Yeah, I actually did 20 years for $3 million.
I
It
don't see
was
how you can do a
260
20-year
or something
bond
like
on
that.
stuff that doesn't have a 20-year life. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
It's a good deal if you can do it.
Doesn't work that way.
They do that in Chicago and LA and New York, and then let the rich pay for it. But we don't have that.
So I had a note, just so we can get back to this. I had a note that are we going to sunset the fun park? Do we want to stick
Yes.
any money in it for next year?
That's
Should I just make it
100%.
0?
100%.
Okay, but they didn't, okay, so this is 0.
Don't you want a motion?
Also, but it's confusing, it's called one-player registration, two-player registration, Doug, there's
We're talking about
If you have
sunset
a
in the
sibling,
park.
you get like a $10 discount.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, that's
We're
149.
talking about sunset in the park.
Or we
Yeah.
are going to have some costs as far as like facade and some
You're just gonna have,
incidentals.
gonna have mowing costs, that's it.
Okay. But that's included under the general landscaping, that doesn't actually get broken out, because the way it got broken up in the contract, I don't know how
Yeah.
much is the fun
So
part.
do you want a motion?
What do you want me to put here? Do you want it to be 0, or do you want me to just put a little bit for incidentals?
No, 0, the only
Okay.
cost we should have there
Is the regular mowing.
is mowing.
Which is accounted for somewhere else.
Exactly, okay.
Well, actually, there would be
We would do it now.
We would do it before the end of the fiscal.
is there any cost to taking the equipment.
Yeah, we
and-
would, but we would do that during, like now, during this fiscal year.
2026, so it's
Yeah,
not
so,
next year.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So it won't hit next
You
year.
don't need to budget for it next year.
Correct.
Okay.
None of that equipment over there is salvageable at all, right? No. Okay, I didn't think so.
And you said you're not going to put any money into the side at the dog park, correct? Hey. This number is TBD. We haven't decided if we're going to go with, I'm on this line here.
Bob, this goes back to your question about that program.
Yes, we're investigating a couple different options. One of them is to use Facilitron, which we already have, which wouldn't cost us anything. It doesn't have the same capabilities as a proper Parks and Rec scheduling programming software package. So that's why it's blank for right now, because we did work through, they have some options for a way to utilize Facilitron to do what we're trying to do. It's not ideal, but it's free.
It's not easy to use.
That's exactly right. It's got to be simple.
And it has to be for courts, hours, half
Yes.
hour.
I would suggest, Laura, you become
So
familiar.
I think, what was it, 13?
Become
Supposed to
familiar
be?
with
It
the
was
Pelican
13,000.
scheduling system for tennis and pickleball.
The one that we looked at, for including implementation, so the first year would be higher, and then the annual cost, it would be about $13,000.
I'm talking about user friendliness.
And it was, and we could set up, if we want to add courts, we can do schedules, so.
Did you look
But
at the system that Pelican uses?
I just need to know if you want me to put dollars in here or not.
It's Civic Rec.
So-
What we.
No, the software for scheduling.
We will, we'll put it in.
This has evolved over time and it's
Yes.
finally
Done. All right.
But my point is, have we looked at the system that Pelican uses?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then you can see down here where I took out telephone, trash, we're gonna move all those receptacles to the admin building. Add the utility for the irrigation, that'll go to the new admin building, so
Well,
these
can I
went
interrupt
away.
you really quick? I'm sorry. I apologize. But if we're looking at a system for let's say, the commons area, or would you also look at it for our fields?
Yes, everything would move to it.
Okay, so
It
we would
be
go,
a-
we would
it'd
move
be
from
everything.
Facilitron.
Correct.
To a different system
Correct.
altogether. So we would do it all?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted
We
to make
don't
sure I
want
was clear.
multiple systems.
No.
That is-
Exactly, yeah.
Everything would move.
That's why we're taking our time doing the due diligence to make sure it's the right move before we invest.
Okay, any other questions on this page then?
Okay, so if I look at the totals there,
Well, it's changed now from what you have, because I adjusted some of the numbers, but yeah.
Okay, you just went back that sheet.
but last year it was 1,539,503. The new total would be 1,925,091, and you've got the thing, 9.
Then
Okay,
most of it's right here.
and
Capital
of
projects.
that, Pelican Preserve is going to be paying $133,523.
Correct, because you barely pay anything into Parks and Rec, so.
Okay, so that's the total, that's not the increase.
Happily give you less.
Correct. The increase is the difference between this number and this number.
Okay.
So it's about $400,000.
If you go to that 1.7 million, and the 574 is a part of that, the 406,350 and the 44,000 are the only two things that are in there that are capital. And the 406,350 is for 4 or 5 items. The 200,000 we give to PrAC, 23,000 for a Kubota, 125,000 for a digital community board, and 40 and 10 for pool and soccer goals. There is no money. There's basically no money. So that 574 is in that 1.7, and it is all operating. There is no capital in it. The capital is yet to be done. That's what I'm worried about. These numbers are bogus. We got to get these numbers correct. We don't know what we're dealing with.
So this number will change based on what you're going to do for capital. This is not including those bigger projects because they would be funded by bonds, which.
Capital's easy because what we do is we make a decision. It's either a 10-year bond or it's a 20-year bond. It's easy.
Or you
And then it
assess
turns
for
into be
it,
a
so.
principal and interest payment, and you're
Right.
done. It's so easy to calculate. The killer in the room is the operating cost. That's the one, even if we would go out on a limb, I get shot in the community. We would go out and debt finance that with the risk that we know that the owners are gonna pay for it. We still gotta be able to come up with that 75% of the other $574,000. That in and of itself is.
Or continue subsidizing. Or continue subsidizing, which is what we've done in the past.
I won't agree to that.
Well, but I mean, that's what we've done.
I won't agree to that. Residents aren't going to agree. I got 1,400 people. That's 1/3 of this community. It's not going to vote for that. I can tell you that right now. They're not going to vote for that.
All right, any other questions about this for right now?
All right, so this, we can skip some of these because we've already looked at it. Where's my slide?
You see the category on the left.
I know, I'm working on it.
The key is to get to that last page and look at it because
So the admin, we've already covered because that was on this allocation sheet, so that's already done. So we would start here with landscape. This is general fund.
what page you on?
001. I'm in the actual spreadsheet. I'm not in the agenda,
And
sorry.
the 3%, that's in the contract?
Yes,
Yeah, we don't have any flexibility on that at all?
no.
Is that Stevens' contract?
Landscape.
So it's landscaping.
Landscaping, the $190,000 for tree and plant replacement. If we're already gonna spend $510,000 and that's the majority of what the planting is gonna be, I would have taken that literally to $50,000. Because, I mean, honestly, I don't see the need of us having to take oak trees on Gateway Boulevard and replacing them. I mean, the report that was given to us, we have too many, they're too close. Like the other day I was driving, I mean, even with the FPL lighting, you can barely see it. It really covers the lighting. I think $190,000 is overkill for landscaping replacement, trees and planting. I would have said, okay, if we're gonna spend $510,000 on the Griffin area, but let's think about it. Let's really think about the community, the big areas. Stony Brook, we just redid that, so that's brand new, nothing's gonna happen there. Then between Hidden Links and Stony Brook, we have all those crepe murals that were installed. Nothing, you cannot add anything there. And from there, all the way to the roundabout, all you have is removal of oak tree. And then annual plantings, they're already in a contract, so they wouldn't be really in here.
There's some spots in there you could add one or two. Net new, not oaks per se, but some trees. There's some like in the medians if you did some palms. I mean, I'm not saying it's breaking the bank, but tree line.
I wouldn't because we pay an arborist to tell us that we actually have too many. And then so that's what concerns me. Like, and now I can understand if suddenly we needed to do a project that we needed to take 10 oak trees on one side and 10 on another. I'm totally up for putting 5 and 5 because you're gonna lose that look. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're losing one here, like the two that we're losing there. There is no need to replace an oak tree there or any other location. One died. You have another oak tree within 10 feet from it. I just think it's an area to cut. It's 190. I would give 50,000, and I think there'll be plenty.
Well, I keep in mind this is tree line, and we've already had some complaints of tree line of some landscaping that needs to get addressed.
What you're talking about replacement.
It's not just
tree
gateway
line.
and Griffin,
No.
it's also tree line. Because it's outside your gate, which means it's in the general fund.
So you're getting feedback over there that their trees need to be replaced? or
Not
tree
trees, not trees.
Shrubs.
Bushes.
We got a lot of dead shrubbery.
Bushes.
Landscaping replacement.
Yeah, we have a lot.
It's
been let go.
Yeah, 'cause I don't see it, so
And they were like original back 20-some odd years ago.
I'm not, so
And
what
they're
my,
just,
Flavia, my point
They're
is,
dead.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
trying to get it down to
I
50,
mean, they're
but
alive, but they're dead.
No, but I didn't know that, so.
I didn't
so-
know it either. I
So
thought
I
it was
didn't,
here.
so then I totally, okay, if you got, because you and Karen would know, then yes. Okay.
And really, it's going to be a one-time cost.
Why would you say it includes
mean,
tree
they'll
line
last.
if that tree
I don't
line's
know
not in
how many years.
001?
It is,
It is.
because
Tree
it's
line is in
outside, yeah, they
001?
pay
Only the
in,
west side,
yeah, they pay
Oh, the
in.
west side, okay.
The stuff outside, yeah.
the median.
And then,
median and west side, yeah. Everything,
yes.
sidewalk on the east side, all the way over to whatever.
Man, you're good. And then you heard from the Devonshire community, which I'm working with Tony on. That could be another potential project.
Where do we own anything there?
With the right of way.
The road is all,
Devonshire Lakes Drive, it is
Segment of
That's-
Devonshire Lakes Drive.
half of it's
segment.
commercial buildings.
Laura, can you push this up a little bit?
segment of that Devonshire Lakes Drive going into
We're
Waterford.
working
And
on landscape, so it's all.
I thought we were done with that.
Potentially ours.
I don't know.
And up to the.
Once
the-
he said tree
where-
line was in it, I thought
Yeah,
we moved.
from
We
Gateway.
moved on.
Then it goes to a wall. They have a wall along the backside of that property. Don't you have a wall?
No,
It did something weird when I moved it.
There. So that's,
there's a fence, but there's no
we're,
wall.
Tony and I are
There's a
working.
wall back
says
here.
we
When
own
you
it.
look at that, where they're building that new, where that lot's at, you can see a wall all
But
along there.
this road, this entire road, as of right now, we're doing research and due diligence to see if we truly took it over back in the day, if this is us. And you heard,
One, Tony, we've tried to get rid of and they wouldn't take. So I'm positive it's ours.
Yeah, wait, that was part of the package of roads way back
Yeah.
when. But when you did, Girl Scout Drive and a bunch of the others.
Pan this up a little bit. There's a wall that starts down here that you can see out there looking back. You can see the wall.
yeah, that's them. I'm just only talking about this finger.
Yeah, so, but along here, the only part of it that you would be able to do anything is right there in that area where it's open.
Correct.
That's all.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but you heard from the community today that they'd like some shrubs and some landscaping enhancements. There are some dead plants out there that could be replaced, but you heard from them that they want improvements. My point is, there's money to, there's areas of opportunity.
Moving right along.
By the way, right now, the Fun Park is one of the district's designated parking facilities under the rule that you adopted. And I know you want to sunset it, but from the standpoint, I think right now, keep it in the rule because there's prohibition against loitering and everything else, and we have tow-away policy.
When I,
I think we're trying to sunset the
Use as a recreational facility.
yeah, so the parking is to stay because we're still gonna allow somebody to park there.
It'll be a green space.
Yeah, it's just a green space. It's just-
Or extra parking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
sunsetting the playground equipment.
Uh-huh.
The amenities, yeah. Any questions about the waterway management?
I don't have any.
Parks and Rec, we've already done. Public Works.
So the capital will get adjusted if it hasn't already.
It hasn't, I need to fix that. Then pool we already did, and then this stuff down here we haven't talked about yet. So this would just be like if we're gonna fund, how we're gonna fund. So I'm just gonna skip that because we haven't gotten there yet.
Any questions about Pelican 002? What has been provided from the subcommittees and PPAC?
Basically,
if
they
that's
kept
what they had.
everything flat.
Pretty much, yeah. Some of it moved around a little bit, but the end result was flat. So basically, it's just this.
Well, now you need to explain about 005.
05, we're recommending that we get rid of this like we did, got rid of Stony Brook. My brain is tired, sorry.
Have you still left?
We'll make sure that we use the rest of the reserves this year. There's not much in there.
Before you leave 02, I think I saw a number of notations that we're going to do away with Passarella. Is that proposal?
That is a decision to be made by PPAC, but the intent is to go away and host it with our GIS with Tetra Tech.
It's still in your budget.
I know.
For high water.
Why am I asking?
But yes,
Yeah.
the goal is to go away from
That's a
Passarella.
potential $50,000 a year savings.
Yes.
What added cost, if any, would
It's
we
already
pick up?
incorporated on the budget and the shared allocation page.
And how much would that be?
As of right now, was it 60,000 you had on GIS?
That's for maintenance and everything, yeah.
Yeah. So that would be shared.
50 goes away, what goes in?
60 goes shared across the fund.
Everybody.
Across all funds.
So you pay 17% of that. So you get a
We go
substantial
from
savings.
17% of
100%
60.
of 50,000
Yes,
to 17% of 60,000.
yes.
Okay, and everything will be done in-house
With Tetra Tech.
with Tetra Tech.
Yes. And then we would have a forward-facing thing mirroring like what you have for Pelican. And so that website, Passarella would no longer host.
This is a new initiative for Tetra Tech to take this on. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So we're recommending to get rid of this Town Lakes Fund. We didn't put any, as you can see, the budget was pretty much zero for this year. We did a bunch of paving over there, so we'll just use the money that's left in there that's in the reserves. We'll make sure we use that up before the end of the year to make additional improvements. And we're requesting to remove this fund for next year. And
It'll be treated like every other
they're
road.
they're already
just
paying in the
absorb it?
general fund and we'll just take it out of there,
Perfect.
so.
That's fine with me.
Fine,
Okay.
carry on.
This is the Lake Bank Fund. These are not in a convenient place. This is, because we have to include the month that we're actually planning to spend. This is one of the few that I actually offset already. So we're figuring about $9 million for ponds next year. However, we're planning to have most of that, 75% of it reimbursed through grants. So the net cost is only this 2.25 million down here.
The 2.25 would be already added on to the 21 million we currently have.
The goal is to get that covered from additional grant dollars.
No, I understand the
But
goal to do.
yes.
So
I'm
we're-
saying if we get exactly what we're looking for, then we're going to add another 2.25 million to the 21 million we're currently paying on. So if I'm a Gateway Greens homeowner, there's going to be another kick up in my rates next year. Correct? Okay. So we'll make sure I got an understanding of it.
All right, and then the last one is the
Well,
enterprise
he said
fund.
that for you. Oh, okay.
So
Content over there, so I didn't know if you got it or not.
Back at his golf course.
all the admin we've already covered in the shared thing, so this is be the first.
I think that is on you.
This is the first items down here that are specific to just utilities. Again, payroll comes directly from the sheets. I worked with Leslie to consolidate some of the stuff that she has in here. We actually moved this to like computer and licensing fees. Had some things in here. With the new system, with the new meters and the new billing, there came some new accounts and some charges. We removed some and we added some.
Do we have an idea of what the impact is on the average bill?
No, not yet.
Not a clue? We're borrowing what, like 6 million or something?
You're talking about on the debt?
No, on the monthly utility bill that they're going to get, factoring in the new system of controllers.
That was,
That goes to the homeowners, right?
yes, and that was
Meters.
that,
Yeah, okay.
that, when we did the rate study 2-3 years ago, they calculated all of that. It's buried in the rates. So I'd have to go back and talk to Raftelis and see what the end all be all is.
Sometime next
But-
year, some people are going to start getting a new bill.
Well, they started to see it a year and a half ago.
They're already paying for it?
Yes, we've been gradually increasing the rates to have the money.
To avoid
as-
sticker shock. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that way we had the money when we started spending it, so we already started increasing the rates.
Okay, thank you.
15 minutes.
So,
We do that in conjunction with the county raise. Yeah.
I guess, were there any questions on the utilities portion of it? Theirs is pretty standard. We did comb through pretty well.
The staff did come down on some numbers and
Yes.
we decided we could work and milk some things and shift some items around.
If there's no questions for this, let's move to the next one.
Okay, that's it. That's the last one.
Okay.
Blew through that.
Next page. Page 39.
He wants the table.
Yeah, the table, that's the
Oh,
key.
shoot, I just closed it.
You've been
Hang
waiting for
on.
the table the whole long.
I have it.
He's so sick and tired of hearing everything. He's like, just show me the total dollar.
I'm hoping the table goes away, but,
I just gotta wait for it to open. Hang on.
I'm sorry.
I just have to wait for it to open back up. I closed it.
It's the one that says O&M only.
Yeah, this doesn't include debt service, so we got a 20% increase
And also,
just right
again,
now.
keep in mind, this does not have any revenue applied against it. So these numbers are very high. They are gonna come down as soon as I start plugging revenue into the budget. I
When
don't
you
have
talk about-
interest, I don't have
you-
assessments, I don't have any of that plugged in. I just looked at expenses for this portion. So these are like with no help, no lending,
Just
no,
cost.
yeah.
No, what?
Just cost. There's
Yeah.
no,
There's no offsets to this. This is like flat out, if we had zero revenue, this is what it would cost you. So these are gonna come down. I just needed to
See
make
it,
sure
Ed?
that was clear.
Ed, you
so.
see it?
He doesn't want to see it. He sees it. He doesn't want to see it.
He doesn't like it.
One I want to look at is the Parks and Rec in the middle. That's the one where the major revenue has to come in. Because right now, you just take that number divided by 5,400 users, Gateway and 15% for everybody else, and it's $356. I can't even look with a straight face at anybody in Gateway and tell them that.
This is where it is right now with no revenue. So. $356 for Gateway.
$167,000
We'll
of
have,
revenue.
we will have
Doesn't
that
go very
plugged
far.
in for the next meeting.
Yes, I need to make sure I sit with Steven. I'll be doing that next week. So he and I always like to go over the revenue numbers together. And we'll go through those. So I will have that for the next board meeting.
Anybody have any questions about the budget?
Oh, yeah, if we go back to, yeah.
That's it.
So the green column,
Yep.
Show her, she's not seeing the top. the
Hang on,
title.
I can't, yep.
oh, okay.
It's this column.
So Pelican Preserve, single family would be $1,177.97.
2.2%.
Plus debt.
Yeah, the debt service isn't included, and this is just O and M. So there's another table that has
Multifamily is
debt
a
service.
reduction.
So that's not like your total. That's just O and M.
Yeah,
I'm gonna move there.
what was our debt component last year?
Community.
I don't remember. It's hard for me to access it from this
In
computer.
Pelican, the debt component is very, very small.
Yours is small. Yeah, you just have the
$50.
bond. Yeah,
It was
What?
it wasn't much. Because you don't pay Lake Bank, you
So
just
we're
had
at
debt,
about
you had bonds.
1,200.
I know some days
Ish.
look 35, but.
Maybe 1250, yeah. Have any revenue in here, so.
Debt last year was 154.
Paying off that 2018 bond, Pelican. Saved a chunk on that debt.
It did.
So, okay, so that's where we're
Anything
at.
else for budget? Okay.
I think our brain needs a break for the budget right now. Mine does.
Welcome to my life.
Still, the
I think
sheet we just
beat
left
that
in,
horse to death.
even with your $354, Pelican's still paying a hell of a lot more than anybody over here.
Getting close.
Next item is.
I'm trying to get you there.
Moving right along.
I just put this as a placeholder in the event that the board wanted to take this up.
Okay,
If
the
you want to,
request of the parking fees, does anybody want to talk about that? I think I approached with
I
solution.
thought that was a great idea.
I
Go to
mean,
church.
I know Eddie didn't because he was laughing while I was over there. He was upset, but I'm thinking it's not like the kids are gonna be crossing the street because it'll be refs and coaches, and since the school uses our stuff, then so I
It was a great idea.
Well, and the thing is, like, the argument is the refs are out there for 4 hours. That's a lot for a 16-year-old to pay
Well,
for
but now-
parking. It basically eats into what they're earning. I mean, that kind of defeats I think, the
only the
intent.
refs that don't live in Gateway.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you're,
Well, it looks like we may come up with a solution, so Sam is gonna talk to them, and maybe the refs and the coaches can park there. Maybe the refs and the coaches can
Do you
go to the
wanna
printer, they can print
table
up ref and coach and then
this?
put it in the car.
You
Something
wanna-
very
choices.
simple.
you want to table this to the next meeting?
Well, is it possible in the system that with their rental, that they could get, I don't know, 10 passes?
10 is not even gonna cover, did you see them?
Wait, for like coaches or whatever
80,
that
they
they
want 80.
have,
So how,
that you could,
the system ties it to a license plate. So we would have to get the list of their folks. They'd have to make accounts.
I wouldn't do coaches. I would do referees. Because coaches are typically volunteers, and most of the time they're coaching their own kids.
Right.
So they're
They're here anyway.
going to be out there anyway. Now, there are some coaches that do go out and coach,
right?
but you're opening up, like, it could be a lot of coaches.
But the church is
really?
a great solution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure one team, how many coaches can you possibly
you
have?
have, I mean,
Well,
you
of
have
course
up
they
to,
volunteer,
you have up to 5
yeah.
to 6 divisions with
They
6
say
to 8
here,
teams in
they
each
say
division.
80.
On an annual basis.
You know, I
But the
mean,
refs, I don't have any problem with that.
it's been a long, long time since I've even had to deal with that sort of stuff. But what I remember is basically you wanted to get your kid on the best team that's going to win games and get noticed by
This is recreational
people.
level.
I
Different,
know,
yeah.
but whatever it took, I mean, if your kid qualified and, you know, and they accepted him on the team, you just paid whatever it was.
Look, I pay
You
parking
know.
about every
I
weekend.
mean, you didn't
when
say,
I go to
well,
Lauderdale and Miami
It's gonna be $100
and
more.
Orlando.
My kids
You
were
just
so
said-
bad at soccer that I used to just buy the uniform and like they would go twice and I'm like, really? They always made them the goalie. They were so bad.
much
But we're
money?
talking traveling leagues, you know, and things like that.
How
You
much
just
money?
pay whatever it is.
How much money did we budget as revenue to come from parking?
We haven't got there yet. I got the numbers from the yesterday.
We need to, that's a number we need to
Yeah,
know.
we have it.
Because they need to understand, we start cutting this out, that's just more money you're gonna have to come from some another source.
Exactly, that's why.
That's what I don't think they understand.
I would suggest you table this item until June. I have a meeting scheduled with the school district to see if they want us to charge on their behalf, and anywho. And then give Sam a chance to come back and see what the church does. But I would not make a decision on this today. I would table this to at least the next meeting, and we can discuss it further then.
So moved. Move to table.
Because we need to know what this revenue is
Second.
gonna generate.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we'll bring it back.
District manager.
I think it's
annual
about
review.
40,000 annually.
They sent us the numbers projected yesterday. I have
Just
to
from
go-
soccer and flag, I think it's about $40,000.
I think it was between 45 and 65 was what
Because
they were
I'm
projecting.
using.
That sounds about right.
Let's say you're gonna be there for one night of practice, one game. And you're gonna be there longer than an hour, but I just use an hour. So $2, that's $4 a week per person for 8 weeks. That's $32 a season. So $32 times, let's just say it's, let's say flag is 200, 250, and that's probably a low number. That gives you 12,000 whatever. Soccer is, they do about 800, so let's just say half. Again, I believe it's more than half, but if you do half, it's like 25,000. So I think it's roughly about 40K in potential revenue just for those two leagues, just for those two leagues. So if you minus, I don't know.
An alternative, not to interrupt you,
Okay.
just something to gnaw on before your next meeting, since we just tabled this, is there are different tiers and things that you can offer. So you could offer a membership for the refs, and that could be at a flat rate for just the duration of their season, and the leagues could choose to pay that or have the refs pay it directly. Just saying.
So you get a parking pass for the season.
Yeah. It
So
could be at
if
a
it's $20,
Yeah.
$20 for your parking pass.
Yes,
That would give you a $12 discount.
whatever the duration of the season, yeah. So something to gnaw on.
I don't mind that. I mean,
And then
my
still
kid
getting
would
revenue.
pay $20 for a parking pass for the season. Like that's
The league-
one game.
The league could
Would pay
choose
for it.
to get a sponsor to pay for their refs, or, and eat the cost themselves, whatever. Then it's a fixed cost, they know what it is, they know what they're getting, they know how many refs they have, so on and so forth. Something to gnaw on. Anyhow.
We talked enough about that one. Park them at the church, let's go.
There you go.
Okay, Chelsea's review is next.
Okay, I would like to suggest that we give Chelsea a 4% raise on her base and a 3% bonus.
With 3 and 3.
3 and 3.
No, I said 4.
Meeting.
No, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking 6% is what I was thinking total. Yeah, and only because I think this year,
Just leave it at 6.
Talking 3 and 3, Don?
3 and 3. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Averaged 3.5 over the last 3 years. If you average it out over it,
But we didn't know
not
when we were
bonus.
giving you all that money before that everybody else wasn't getting money. We just learned that tonight.
Oh, but I never,
Everybody's been flat.
I never got necessarily the 4% every year like they did, so I averaged 3.5, just so you know.
But you got 6% last year.
Bonus.
10%.
Yeah.
10%.
You got 10%, you got 6 on your base and 4 bonus.
But on average, I got 3.5 over all the years, over the last 3 years. And what I would like to also entertain is additional PTO.
How much do you have now?
I accrue 12.41 hours every 2 weeks, and I get 8 weeks a year. Department heads.
Weeks a year?
Yes,
We get
department
7.
heads get 7 weeks a
And
year.
you complain about me leaving.
Speaking
I
of
just
going
checked.
on,
What I
Chelsea,
would
I-
like to do is,
I can't.
I never had that much in my life.
I would like to ask, one of the board members, and I'll be happy to do it, but I think we should look at comp structures for our top 2, which would be Chelsea and then the next tier, total compensation. Just to look and see if there's, because we want to be competitive in the marketplace, and we can do that by other ways than just increasing base. Bonus is a good one, but there are some other creative things that I think we should be looking at. Just personally, I didn't have any problem doing it last year. I'm not saying that I think your work is equal to, if not greater, from what you did last year. But I think we need to look at the job description, because the things that, like some of the items that I put as a meets this year, I may have calculated them as an exceeds last year, but now, and maybe even years before, but that's the expectation. The expectation is for you to value engineer, for you to drive savings, to bring grant money in. So I think it does warrant the percentages, but I also think we need to continue to make the position attractive. We need to give opportunities not only to you, but to Laura and Bill and Paul and that level as well. And there may be other creative ways to do it, as opposed to just looking at base.
Is the PTO different than if you're sick, or is that part of sick?
Oh,
It doesn't matter.
PTO is PTO.
We don't have separate, we just have
They don't
PTO.
I'm not used to that
They don't split
term.
it anymore. You don't have sick
So
leave
you get
and
your
paid
vacation,
time.
whatever that is.
Personal time off.
Paid time off. Yeah.
Paid time
We
off.
don't differentiate between sick.
Anything else? So you get your
No.
vacation, you get the holiday periods, Christmas, whatever, all that stuff,
Everybody else does.
Yep.
and then, okay, all right. I didn't know
PTO, we don't care if you're on your deathbed or on a Disney cruise.
that. Okay, I
You may be on
never had
both.
that, that's
Paid
why.
not to be here.
You may be on both.
Okay, so that would include your vacation too.
That is vacation, yeah, it's
That
every
is
day.
No, it's just,
vacation.
it's just paid
When
time
you,
off.
when
It's
you
total.
are, when you're on PTO, is that strictly time away, or are you working remotely?
She's always working remotely.
How I operate is I put in my, like next week, starting tomorrow, I'm on PTO and I'm out next week. I put in all of those days on PTO. Now, the Monday I come back, and Laura operates the same way. This is, I've set this expectation, this status. If I will estimate if I worked 4 hours over that time, the call here and there, I don't count. But if I'm sitting in front of a computer and I'm approving agenda items, and I have three meetings scheduled next week, I take those, I reduce my PTO.
And here's why I'm asking. So we work in an environment today where work from anywhere is a norm. Going in the office.
This is new, right, not new
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, it is new as of the past. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
working remotely for
Since COVID,
10
for
plus
sure.
years. But since COVID, it has now become a norm, because of COVID, just all companies had to adopt a virtual structure. Now, a lot of companies went back to either in
Mandatory
the office
attendance or whatever.
or at minimum a hybrid environment.
Mixed.
So what I'm saying is, I think, because I know you travel to North Carolina and you do that kind of stuff. The ability for you to work remotely, I think, should be part of something that we can incorporate. We use Teams. I mean, every day, if I'm
Well, it sounds like she's doing that, though.
if I'm calling someone, I'm calling them on Teams and I'm video.
But isn't she already doing that? If she's out for a week, it takes 5 meetings?
But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that, but giving you the flexibility
got
to
it.
even do that more would.
I honestly, I wouldn't I appreciate that, but we're so small, I need to be here. Other than me actually physically going somewhere.
You have to be careful saying that, because you can't say that you have to be here and then you ask for extended PTO. That's
the problem.
That's a little bit of a different.
That's 1/6 of the time a year.
Yeah.
That's
So
1/6
what I'm
a
saying
year.
is, let's not solution that today. I think if you guys
What
don't mind, or if
what were
somebody
you
else
hoping
wants
for?
to
What
do it.
what are you suggesting? From 8.5 to something else?
Yeah, and it can be, a couple extra days. It can be a week at most. I don't want any more than an extra week a year.
So 8.5 to 9.5, you're
Yes.
happy?
Yes.
She's at 8 now.
Oh, I thought it was 8.5 now.
No, 8.
No, 8.
Okay, so from 8 to 9. Okay. No problem with that.
And I don't think any of your work has ever dropped or you've missed anything since in any PTOs. That's not the argument for me.
I can vouch for that too.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Always available.
I mean, 11 o'clock at night,
She's always available.
She's on a cruise ship, available, like, I think I
I'm not
mentioned
arguing
this to Tony, didn't I mention this to you the last week?
Our
I
chairperson
said,
didn't hear that much.
wait. You know I already had to make Laura pull up. I only missed 2 meetings. Stop it.
Please know, like, when I come back, I don't milk it. Like, I don't take, 4 or 5 days back. I take what I truly believe that I.
Yeah, and I don't think
vouch for
I
that.
don't think we can
Speaking
have.
of
we-
that,
we
No
can
one's
start,
arguing
yeah.
that. No one's arguing that.
So I'm okay with 3 and 9 weeks.
Second.
Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And then I would like to, in addition, I would like to look at
By all means, do
Chelsea
it.
and that second tier
Do it.
to see if there's opportunities for us to
Come
continue
back
to
to
be
us.
creative.
Yep.
And we could do it, and we can workshop it. Is everybody okay with that?
I think the.
That's your bailiwick, Doug.
Let me know what you need from me for that.
Yeah.
I don't exactly understand where you're going with it, but I'll be happy to
Well,
participate.
so as an example, we can't
She'll
continue.
listen to it.
So my point is, like last year, I felt like that 10% was important critical for a role, and for us to main not just for Chelsea, but to be attractive in that position moving forward. And she did, she did a lot. This year, I'm not saying she did anything less, but we can't just continue to max out the base. We have to look at other, because we just can't afford to. Because if we have to do that for Chelsea, we have to do that everywhere else. And that's like saying someone like Laura isn't maxing out in her position. Are we giving her a 10%? So we have to just, and it's not necessarily
Well,
apples to apples.
we need some comparative data.
And that's what
And I can pull that.
We need to go
But
to other
are there other
CBDs.
ways? Are there other ways that we can continue to make the role attractive, to offer, let's just call it total rewards, for
Once
not
a
only
month,
Chelsea,
dinner
but
with
for
Ed.
all our leaders?
Once a month, dinner with Ed. I mean, things like that.
Hold on.
And lunch with Bob.
I want to be transparent because you control me. We have had conversations about making things more attractive, not really and part of full transparency, part of adjusting my tier is looking at adjusting and tweaking the tiers of Laura and the rest of the subordinates. So we collectively every year look at ways to make things attractive. Now, can Laura in her role do exactly what you talked about and work from home? Have I allowed that? Yes. Can my utility guy work from home? No.
Probably not, right.
No.
Yeah.
So there is that.
There's restrictions in
already.
yes,
But could
absolutely.
Austin or Randy, more than
Yes.
likely, on occasion?
And they have. So
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. And I
That's
think
within your
part of what
purview.
I'd like to do is look at opportunities, but also probably need to revisit the job description as well, especially in your role and some of the others. Like, let's say this, I think there's probably expectations in the role now that is going to be different than what it was when you started, because you're doing things
Oh my God,
you're doing
yeah.
things today that we weren't asking for or that weren't getting done. But now again, to me, some of these things are meats, whereas 2 or 3 years ago it was an exceeds because we weren't getting those things done. So we have to
You have
reset
to set-
expectations.
Yes.
Right. And we got to raise the bar as the bar gets raised across the organization. So I think, you know, I would take the 6% as, you know, again, doing a fantastic job. However, we just have to be, you know, very, just maybe a little bit more frugal in
We
in
gotta
some of
think
the
about
areas.
another thing. We gotta explain this to 5,800 users. I hear it all the time. Why are we paying so much?
Well,
We need information to be able to show that this is the market.
the challenging part,
This is the market.
the
We
challenging
need to
part
show
for
that to
her
people.
role, and maybe even Laura's too, is you can't just plug in district manager and you're going to get exactly, because it's not, there's not that many traditional.
bolt.
Yeah, you know, even in CDDs, you go to any other, you know, they're not district managers defined as we do it. You know, hell,
It's
it
Russ
wasn't too
Wire.
long ago, we had a management company doing this, and we had an ops manager.
Well, keep in mind, there probably are 5 to maybe 8 other CDDs in this state that equate to us on size and what we do. This utility is huge. It's huge. And the water management's huge. So to compare apples and apples is not going to be simple.
It's not simple.
It's
No,
not
and
gonna be
because I've
simple.
done it before. I've looked it up, and you have to look at other CDDs, and then you also have to look at other comparable. I mean, we were kind of not joking around, but you were pretty serious. That basically your role is a project manager. That's what you're doing. You're managing projects at both small, medium, and large scale. So you have to look at comp and things from parallel government and other, you know, the private sector as well. But we want you to continue to do well, and we think you're doing a great job as well as all the staff, and we want to keep rewarding you as such.
Thank you. I just want to call out 2 things. So Ed, to answer your question directly, that district manager's management report, to me, is the justification of all of the things that what you've gotten out of me over the last year.
We understand that, Chelsea. The problem is, we're elected, and the people who elect us don't understand it.
So
they don't understand it.
Well, I told a number of them.
They only see our numbers.
I told a number of them, we've gotten grants that more than cover what
That's what I'm
they
saying.
work for nothing.
Our people don't understand it, and that makes it very difficult, because they're the ones who vote for us.
Yeah, and we can talk, I mean, I'll have direct conversations with you and with Laura and with the rest of the staff on, you know, what are other, if I had an engineering firm that we were contracting, and I wish we kind of did it more with Tetra Tech, but I would embed some value engineering or some rebates or, you know, even incentives to the engineering company for coming in on time on budget. I mean, you
Key
know.
performance indicators.
Yeah, like those different things. We used to have some of that with Severn Trent. The problem is you start managing to that. And that's the problem we had. We maintained a flat budget, but nothing was getting done.
Yeah.
For
And
years.
now we're
So you
paying.
have to be really
Yeah.
careful when you structure those types of environments. And that's the same thing with a, you know, let's hypothetically with an engineering company. If you got the bonuses, they're managing to the bonus and the incentives, not necessarily to the quality and the outcome. So you got to be really careful.
6:30, let's go.
Anyway.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Look forward to the next year. You'll see my 3 goals, and we'll get those out to you here.
Now, are you putting that you sent us on the, what do you call it?
It's already out.
It's on the website?
I'll make sure Randy gets it out
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay.
And then just to clear, I'll need you to stop and sign it, have to print it out, whatever. But it won't, sometime before, it
effective
won't go into
date,
effect
that
until the
is-
16th, which is her anniversary.
Anniversary
May
date?
15th?
May 16th, which is a Saturday, but that's her anniversary date, so.
And perhaps in the future, we can contemplate changing the time of year that this occurs.
She and I had talked about maybe moving it so hers aligns with ours, which are done in September, and then the increase is effective with the fiscal year, because hers is challenging for me to budget also for when it falls.
We just
so-
do that.
So we'll do that, we can do that going forward then, so.
Let's do that. Makes more sense.
Moving on.
All right.
Tony, this next wouldn't be so simple as just a
Well,
motion?
So to do that,
Yes,
we would
we
have
already
another
took that. We did the
evaluation
motion,
in
3-3.
We can
September?
talk about that next time if you want to do it this year or skip, and then it would actually be later next year. So that would be something you would have to decide. And you'd have to rewrite her contract because her agreement says it would be done annually on her anniversary. But that's a separate conversation.
So we did the 3-3 and 9.
We don't have to decide that
We
today.
voted.
3-9, that was approved.
I guess I was just getting to, is this hard to do or not hard to do?
No, it's simple. It's just it's
It's simple to
logistics.
do.
It's
Okay.
logistics.
Tony, on this one is, all we need is just the interest of time. I've gone through this, the people are up over
This
there.
is Santa
are-
Luz? There's
Do what?
you're talking
Santa
Santa
Luz,
Luz?
yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
Santa Luz.
three basic things. and we're in agreement with the association on all this. I talked to Rob Cooper, the association's attorney, on the way up. One, the scope of work, I think Chelsea's comfortable with it, reasonably
Yes.
comfortable. But
Tetra
it's
Tech
the-
also reviewed it.
I'm sorry?
Tetra Tech also reviewed the scope of work.
Yeah, and the association's, I think, comfortable with it. We have a couple little glitches about, was landscaping in, who's gonna, anyways, we can work through those, I think.
Yes.
From a practical in the field kind of matter. But from the standpoint of the agreement in front of you, there's three hangups. One is Lennar wants the release now, before any work is done. We said, no, we want the release after the work is finished. Second, we want warranties from the contractors in favor of the association and the CDD, so that we can have that particular relationship with them with regard
For the
to
work they're doing.
for the work that they're gonna do. And a warranty, typically it's 1 year, Chelsea mentioned 3, but I think the association would be comfortable with 1 on the work. Those are 3 things. Other than that, it's they probably spent more money on attorney's fees than they could have spent fixing the damn thing, quite frankly.
If you want to, long and short, if you want to get this fixed, this has to be signed. If you want it fixed, like
This is
now.
their quote-unquote final offer, but the 3 things are what Rob Cooper and I are in agreement on changing: the release after the work is done, the warranty from those vendors, and a 1-year warranty.
Have we heard anything back from them indicating one way or the other that they're not, and I don't want this to be turned out to be an Iran, that they just sit there and nitpick us?
No, this is their proposed final document.
This is the result of nitpicking.
Yeah, thank you.
As modified as
Well
Tony
said.
stated,
Well said.
I make a motion, we approve it.
Subject to those.
3 changes.
And if we come back, they don't accept it, then we'll come back next board meeting.
Okay, I'll go ahead and call for
You
a
second
vote.
it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
We'll leave it when I see it.
Yeah, anyways, I'll stop there.
Any questions on agenda management?
3 years, I mean, come on.
I have none.
Done.
Hey, Steve.
Montague.
Hi, Supervisor comments. I'll start with Bob.
At our last, well, one of our prior meetings, we had discussed the staff gauges and whether we were going to go with the 17 or the 12. And my recollection of the way the conversation went was we were going to send the 5 that were specific to Pelican back to the pond subcommittee for their comments, approval, or whatever. They reviewed it and they have approved it. And now the next step is that it goes to PPAC for them to approve or come on. But I got a note saying we started installation last week. So my question is, when it goes to, it's going to PPAC next week, even though it wasn't on the agenda. Is everyone else's understanding same as mine? That we wanted the ponds to know how much money it was, because the first time they didn't know what they voted.
So this is getting strange, just if I'm being fully transparent. You sent it back to Ponds. Typically, Ponds approves things without necessarily PPAC's authority. Ponds approved it. In our mind, it was done at that point, but I'm hearing that there may be a desire to take it in front of PPAC.
Based on what we said in this meeting, it was very specific that it went to Ponds to go to PPAC. That's the way it was said here. Ponds was not going to be the final to say on this specific item. It went back to them just so they could see how much money they voted on. Because when they approved it the first time, they had no idea.
But the decision to be made is made by us 5, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But if it comes, see, what I fully expect is that when it goes to the PPAC, that they're going to vote it down, because none of them can understand why we're doing it either. There's no value added to this thing. I'm sorry. There just didn't.
So just so you know, I had Paul go back and do the timeline. March 19th, it came in front of you all. You approved the 12 with the 5 staff gauges going back to the pond subcommittee for additional review and budgeting consideration. That was a 4-1 vote. Bob dissenting.
Well, it just left out the last line, and then subsequently the PPAC.
Okay, I'm not aware of that, but April 13, I went to the pond subcommittee. They approved it. Subcommittee was presented with the following options: approve the 5 remaining staff gauges within Pelican Preserve, or to defer installation pending for future review of funding availability. 3-2 for the approval. So ultimately, the question is, do you board want, since the pond subcommittee and PPAC?
Our call.
It's your call.
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. We'll do whatever you guys want to
I
do.
would like to go to the PPAC.
As far as I'm saying,
Also because PPAC is the advisory committee to this board.
To us, that's correct.
If PPAC shoots it down,
Then it's dead.
Contractors mobilized.
if PPAC shoots it down, are we saying this board would?
still can overrule.
Oh, we can still
But
overrule.
would we
We
but
can
would
still
we
overrule.
follow Pelican?
If we didn't, it'd be the first time we haven't.
No, I would not. I would go by the ones that know what they're doing, which is the ponds group.
They don't, Ed. They don't have a clue. If you ask them, what are you getting for it? They'll look at you dumbfounded.
Then what do you have them on a committee for? If they don't know
They
what they're
did it
doing?
because Paul wanted it.
If they
That's the
didn't-
bottom line.
There was
Yeah,
even a
I'm
comment.
not changing my mind, but
There
it would
was
make a
even a
difference.
comment made at the meeting that they were doing it because they wanted to be team players.
That's right. Their value. If the pond is low, you look at it, it's low. Can't do anything about it.
Have we lost confidence in the ponds committee? Is that what we're saying?
No, we've lost confidence in whoever proposed this, because there is no value to doing it in Pelican.
I
Okay. We can argue that. We'll just vote on it. It'll be 3-2 and be over with.
Maybe, maybe not.
I just need direction because it is.
I'd like
not-
to hear what PPAC has to say. You have a problem with
I
that?
definitely would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will halt the project until,
So next Thursday's meeting, we'll put it on their agenda.
Next, you mean?
PPAC votes next Thursday.
Oh, okay, but I mean, till
Any
our
other
next
things?
meeting.
Okay, Doug,
No.
Ed,
No.
Carol,
Yes,
please ask when the bill's getting
we had
ready.
mentioned, I had mentioned a while ago that we should reach out to C5 community across from Pelican, to let them know that they are part of Gateway CDD and the services that they might want to avail themselves of, et cetera, et cetera. Have we found a method of doing that? Because they're all renters over there, so you can't
Yeah, see,
send
that's
it
the
to the,
problem. They're renters. They're
you
not.
can't send
they're
it to
not-
the landlord and expect it to get down to the regular people.
I will follow up with Randy and see if he was able to make that happen.
Yeah, we can tell them they're gonna get free
And
parking.
then my
at the
second
soccer.
question is Wink, their new thing, are they in the district or not? They are in the
Yeah.
district.
They're down in Gateway.
Wink News.
Okay, Wink News. John had one of their guys come and do a hurricane preparedness.
They're coming
thing.
here.
And he was talking about their new building. and
Yeah.
How they're gradually now moving all of their, they will consolidate everything into that building.
Which building is it?
And they
I
said
don't have it, you're gonna have
it's
to.
on Daniels across from Publix,
It's over by,
is what,
yeah, it's over by the brewery.
Used to be over by the old Comcast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know
The
where
old
that is.
Comcast.
but I didn't know if it was in the district or not.
Yep, yep.
You know, we have some fields. Would they like to sponsor some fields?
Bobby tried to the other day when she did the interview.
Oh, I did at the end. I said it, that explanation at the beginning and the end. Anyway, so my only comments that I have, I just want to thank you, Chelsea, for everything that you have done this year and working on many projects. I am extremely happy to have that room full. I'm not one to, I don't care why is they're full. I think it's always an amazing opportunity for us to communicate with the residents, for us to engage with the residents. I will tell you this, and I was kind of not paying attention at one point because we all received many emails to regards to today's meeting, which is a nice thing. So, but I think it's eye opener. I do like to engage it. If there's anything that we can do, you know, to get rooms like this and get participation prior to us making a decision, we are always up for it. Like, we want nothing more than the room to be full and conversation, so.
Well, I question how far this would have gotten had they not given bogus information to the people and just put gas on the fire. I mean, their numbers are all bogus.
For whatever reason, I'm glad they were here, right?
So then I think that to me, and I think that's also important, but yeah.
And I love the recognition of the students.
Yeah.
That is just
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. Get them participating in our democracy.
I'll do the math.
Motion adjourned.
Oh, so, bye.